welcome to D&D Stealing Dragons Session 14. Can we steal this dragon? And we are ready to go.
Neat. All right. Let me finish getting stuff here. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Feels like we haven't played in a while.
And it was just
Even though it's
just a week. It's been a week, yeah.
It's been a week. Interesting.
We should probably play more frequently so that feeling doesn't happen too often.
Just play. That's why you have the
Every
RP
day.
channel.
Yeah, just play every day.
Alrighty. So, welcome back, everybody. We're gonna get back into it here. Unlike last time, I will not be doing the recap. We will go back to our traditional way of doing so, as Viz returned and is going to read from his book. So, what happened last time, Viz?
Well, in the morning before we set off, Jot and I examined the files that I have taken off Erstal. We think what might have been in there was poison, but we couldn't find any traces of it on his blade. I wonder where he used it.
got it.
So we set off towards the Yawning Portal, and then the world magic started going crazy. It was like buzzing frantically. So we ran to the highly populated areas. There's a market nearby, and then it became weaker. So we eventually tracked the Nimblewright down into this alleyway. Of course, a fight ensued, and it was my first time ever focusing so much power and energy into heat, but I attempted to disarm the machine. But in the process of making his weapons red hot, I empowered him to hurt my friends with the hot metal. So I kind of need to keep that in mind for the future. The city guard showed up after the fight, as they do, and we were able to convince them to leave. We packed up the body, and on it we found an encoded letter and a magic stone. Jot even confirmed that the stone is magical, but no one believes me when I say this is probably the Stone of Galore. We returned the body to the House of Wonders, and we received our full payment, plus some wondrous inventions. After we went back home, we worked on the code for a few hours, and we eventually broke the code.
Very much appreciate it.
Tomorrow is going to be an interesting day. The Grey Hand has given us some potions and asked us to go talk to a bronze dragon in the harbor. And Jallister's coming by in the morning as well. He has a job for us for the Open Lord. Let's see what tomorrow brings, I guess.
All right. So after heading back, getting paid by your contact at the House of Inspired Hands for the job that you had agreed to do, taking care of this errant Nimblewright that had been created by another Nimblewright named Nim, appropriately enough, you were paid a decent amount of money. 500 gold pieces is nothing to sneeze at. Definitely could be used to go towards your debt that you're currently sitting on. But with that, you set off from the House of Inspired Hands, heading back to Trollskull Manor, and deciding to call it an evening. As you did arrive, though, you did notice one of your loyal, or not customers, but one of your loyal employees, Saddam McKinnon, caught Risk as he entered into the building to check on things, and said that some potions had been delivered for you all. As these potions were handed over to Risk, everybody in the group was caught with this sending spell that radiated through your mind, as this woman, somewhat younger sounding in her years, spoke to you. You're not entirely sure if this is the Blackstaff herself, Vadra Safar, or not, but you assume it might be. She did request you to look into a situation that was scaring some dragons with this bronze dragon that bronze dragon that seemed to be appearing in the naval harbor here in Waterdeep and scaring some of the sailors and such. So with that, you went to bed, waking up the next day, now on the 26th, if I remember correctly, yes, of Tarsak. You know that the festival coming up, Waterdeep, very frequent with their festivals and such that they have here in the city. The big one coming up with Vernal Trosiu ending will be the festival called Greengrass, which is the official start of spring. As you all know, spring in Waterdeep brings interesting weather, as in it starts raining a lot, and fog likes to lay over the city as well. But it hasn't quite started in full bloom yet, but you think that might be something to look forward to, or dread, depending on your view on constant drizzles and rain and such across the city. But with that, you went to sleep, getting somewhat pleasant dreams, having some information under your belt. This encrypted note that you found on the Nimblewright being solved by a few members of the party. You were able to glean some information onto it, though not enough to fully understand what the next step of yours should be, aside from maybe doing some more research. You wake up the next day, here on the 26th of Tarsak, waking up with the sounds of Waterdeep around you, carts and people chatting outside. It's not quite sunny outside. There are definitely some rain clouds hanging over the city itself, dimming the light a bit. But that doesn't spoil your mood as you head downstairs. I imagine Viz probably working to try to cook up some breakfast for everybody again. Maybe taking in the tastes of the party into more consideration instead of making just spicy stuff for everybody. But you find yourself down in the tavern area of Trollskull Manor, your place of business as well as your home. What do you want to do?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
Did you make
that coffee machine coming?
How's that coffee machine going? I've done no work on it whatsoever. Been too busy, not almost dying,
Okay,
so.
Bonnie. I'm just kidding.
Wow, Talia.
I'm a bit edgy without my coffee.
Sorry, I'll work on
it. Kai's going to start before he heads down and spend a few minutes in meditation and then make his way downstairs to join the others. So he'll be delayed a few minutes.
So, are we gonna go see a fucking dragon today?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen a dragon fuck before.
Woo! Starting off crispy.
Wow. Did Jalister tell you when he would come by? Risk?
No. He just said he was gonna come by in the morning, I believe.
You hear on the front
Wow,
of Trollskull Manor.
When I hear the knocking outside, I'll head down and join the others.
As you head around, Kai, moving down the staircase and walking to the front of Trollskull Manor, you see a familiar man, kind of hunched over a bit, but you see Jalister Silvermane standing out, kind of reaching up and knocking onto the doorway. You see him kind of slumping a bit as he does so, and then stands back upright and with a big sigh starts to let himself in. You see Jalister, everyone else sitting inside the tavern. You see Jalister letting himself into the room as Kai follows after him shortly thereafter. Jalister kind of looks around. You see squinted eyes. He's kind of hunched over a bit. Definitely appears to be... Initially, you may think he's sick, but you know Jalister well enough to know that he's probably kind of hungover from the night's festivities. As he looks around the room, he's kind of seeing Kai walking past him. He kind of greets him. Hey. He looks around the rest of you and says, good morning.
Would you like to join us for breakfast?
Oh, sure.
Eggs might cure that hangover.
Jalister, how you doing today?
And soak up the alcohol.
Risk, I will cut you in half. Please stop. With that, Jalister moves over and sits down kind of at the bar, taking up the offer for food and such. He kind of looks around and says, do you have any ale, by chance, to wash down the eggs, of course?
I do.
We don't have any
Actually,
ale
what I
here at
have
our
is
bar.
I have this wonderful fruit and vegetable concoction. It's going to taste great, and it's so good for you. It's really going to help you, and it's going to get all that garbage out of your system.
An ale is fine. Much simpler. I don't want you to trouble yourself. An ale's fine.
I'm gonna pour him a drink.
Okay. As you do so, he
I want to
leans over.
look really hurt. I put a lot of effort into this, Jalister. Like, I made a really healthy breakfast for everyone. They didn't like the spicy food. I made egg frittatas, and I made these super smoothies, and they're really good for you, and they have all your greens and stuff, and it's really supposed to help you. I mean,
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh yes.
Does his eyes grow bigger too?
Just like doing the kitty
Viz
cat.
is a living anime character.
Okay. As you're talking and Viz just going on and on about this healthy breakfast and this concoction that he wants to make for Jalister, you see Jalister looking over kind of longingly at the tankard of ale that Risk is holding in his hand, and then looks back and says, very well, Viz. I'd be happy to take your drink.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
So I'm gonna put out some super smoothie, some super food smoothie. It's got like spinach and some like mango and apple and all sorts of healthy stuff, and it probably looks terrible, but it probably tastes okay. And the eggs I made for breakfast.
Make a performance check as well.
What kind of check?
Performance, please. You see Jalister waiting. He kind of scarfs down some of this eggs and such that he's been given.
This is amazing.
Okay, so as he
These are
does
the
that,
best
you see
eggs
him
I've ever
looking
had
around.
this.
The food is delicious. Everything is seasoned just so well. Definitely a step up from yesterday's food. With that, you see Jalister looking around, eating the food and kind of nodding. You see even in his very hungover state, he's enjoying the food. He kind of glances once again at the ale and shrugs and picks up this super smoothie that Viz has prepared and drinks it. He's like, it's actually not bad.
You're getting all of your needed nutrients for the day. So tonight you can binge drink as much as you want, and you don't need to worry about meeting those minimum requirements for your health.
That is an excellent point, my friend.
Got your back.
One more, please. And you see him just striking it. But then he looks around and says, but yes, business, of course. Unfortunately, I am here not for niceties, I suppose. Lord's Alliance has a problem that I have been deemed worthy enough to find someone to fix, and I think you all may just be the ones for the job. This job is not for the faint of heart, though. You see him kind of sitting up and straightening his back out as he looks around at you all, very kind of morbid, serious look on his face. Unlike last time, where we sent you out for some poultry errands, this time there is a killer afoot, a man who has been banished from Waterdeep. He has returned. This man is named Harko Swornhold. He has illegally returned to Waterdeep. He is a lowly mercenary, but with a lot of bad history in this town. A few assassination attempts on some nobles, a successful assassination on a lesser noble, unfortunately. He is not a good person. We've seen him, or gotten word of him at the very least, that he has been recruiting Kinku in the dock ward, we assume for hired muscle, but we have a feeling that he's looking to hook up with his old contacts in the Xanathar Guild. He's got some buddies there, we think, that may be seeking him out as well. Well, we can't have that. The Xanathar Guild is already causing enough problems as is, and him joining or rejoining their ranks will only cause problems. More deaths are sure to follow, as he is a trained assassin. We want you to take care of the issue. And with a man like him, who has already been banished, the law dictates that death is the next penalty for his transgression. You are to be the ones to carry out this, quietly, if possible. What I'm asking for you is to find this man, Harko Swornhold. He has a scar shaped like a wishbone on the back of his left hand. Keep an eye out for him. If you see him, quietly put him to the sword. Don't worry about the authorities. You will be cleared of any miscommunications, but this needs to be taken care of, and I'm trusting you all to do so, unless you're not comfortable to do so. Scans, letting the question linger.
We're comfortable doing so, I believe.
I think we can bring him into you.
With that, he kind of looks up.
Has he killed people since he's been back in Waterdeep? You mentioned he was banished for previous assassinations.
Yes, he was. We have not gotten any reliable reports that he has returned to his trade of assassination since he returned, but it's not a matter of if he will do it. It is simply when.
Strikes me
Being
kind of odd.
proactive.
Strikes me kind of odd. You're being proactive about this gentleman coming back, but when there was someone actively killing people in the dock wards, you never came to us for help. Multiple.
That you see Jouster looking over you all and says, talking about the elf killer, the elf assassin. That, oh yes, we heard about him, but the authorities, the Watch, was looking out for him, and were in an active investigation. It was something that could be held or handled by them. That situation was slightly different, so that was a new occurrence, one that we did not know anything about. We do know things about Harko Swornhold. We know that what he is capable of and what he may do again.
It has nothing to do with the fact that that guy was killing sailors and this person's assaulted and attacked noblemen.
Make an insight check.
I don't feel comfortable ending his life to prevent possible.
Well, he's
wrongdoings.
already killed people.
And he was banished because of it. Now he's come back. Banishment was his punishment. Now he's come back, and he hasn't killed anyone, and I don't feel comfortable ending his life for that. We can capture him and bring him to you, but it's not right to end his life when he hasn't done anything wrong.
Do we know he's killed people? Like, was there proof?
A minute ago he said no. He said
So as you're asking this, and Risk, especially when you mention nobles being murdered and such, you see a raised eyebrow coming from Jouster as he looks over to you, and a small smirk crosses his lips, and he kind of nods in assent towards you. Says, this man has killed before. He has killed notable people before. People who may or may not be involved with the organization I belong to, with the Lord's Alliance. So, you may understand why I'm being pressured to see that this is taken care of quickly and quietly, preferably. Attacking and killing a noble is typically a feat that warrants the same punishment. You get what you give out. Unfortunately, Harko Swornhold had some friends in high places back then. He was freed from the death penalty and sent to permanent banishment from the city of Waterdeep, never to be allowed within its walls again, and, if found within the walls, be sentenced to death. Well, he is back within the walls. His sentence just needs to be carried out at this point, and if not, he may very well return to his old deeds.
If we capture and bring him in, that is not what you're looking for, just to be very clear. You just want us to just...
With that, he thinks, says, preferably, I would have this taken care of permanently. There are reasons that I am giving you this task in such a way. As I said before, he had friends. He should have been put to the sword back then, but was not because of these friends. I do not know if he has established any more relationships, but I would prefer that such a criminal be taken care of this time properly, and not with the judicial system running its due course, but instead, justice be carried out by our own hand. He deserves it, I promise you all that. He is a murderer, a thief. He runs with evil people. As I said before, he was a member of the Xanathar Guild before he was banished. I assume he's attempting to return to it, and he could be a powerful asset for them. This is a group that you all have run into before.
They're the ones that killed all the people in the warehouse tonight. A few weeks ago, right?
That he nods, says yes, they were.
We'll make sure you never see this person again.
What's the pay for a job like this? What's the bounty?
With that, he thinks for a moment, says there's no bounty to speak of, at least not publicly. But my superiors are willing to pay you fondly for it. It is a, gruesome task, one that we do not give out lightly. I would say we would be willing to part with 100 gold apiece to take care of this problem for us.
How much do we owe on our house?
So much. Hang on, do I need to pull up the spreadsheet?
2,750.
Could I insight check to see if he's holding back a little bit? If he's bargaining with us?
Sure. Yeah, make an insight check.
Oh,
Good insight.
Good roll.
good tonight.
The way he's looking, he's searching to see if there's going to be a counter offer from you all. He definitely seems like he may be holding back.
I'm just gonna kind of look over at Risk and do this.
Double, you've got a deal.
What'd you say?
Double, you've got a deal.
With that, he thinks, that's one man's head. I could have the guards seek him out for free if I wanted to, but I wanted to give you the exposure and such. But
Then
you did give
perhaps-
me a wonderful breakfast and a decent drink, I suppose. 150 each.
Well, I mean, if you're so certain that your friends in the city guard can take care of him so easily, then you wouldn't have come to us in the first place. I stand by Risk
he's-
here, 200.
He's not convinced that the god can take care of them easily. He's convinced
He's
that
not.
we can take care of it quietly.
200, and I'll make you breakfast anytime you come by. The hangover's not feeling so bad anymore, is it?
You need to understand our position here. This guy killed nobles. Nobles have gods of their own. Like, this isn't a simple task. We're on the up
Especially
and
if
up around here. But
If he has made friends with the Xanathar, we might not be up against just him.
this is less about just him and more about the entire situation we're getting our heads into.
Risk, Viz, and Kai roll d20s.
Ooh, nice!
Kai, I need you to make a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh shit! It should have been me to
that's
do
Double,
this.
double advantage. You got that roll 20. That
This isn't going to be great.
As the three of you are speaking back and forth, trying to your best to convince Jallister that what you're asking is not absurd. For the reasoning behind it, what this man has done, what Harko is accused of, and what he has been convicted for. You know that Jallister is a man of his word. He wouldn't be telling you to seek out this person without being truthful with his words. As he listens to all of you, kind of settling his eyes on Kai, he glances back, and you see his eyes going down and looking at the food that's been scarfed down and the quarter of the drink left, and he looks back over at Viz. Anytime, you say. For breakfast.
absolutely. I care for you, Jallister. You've been a good friend to us since we've been here, and I can't let you just live off whiskey and ale. It's not good for you. You're getting a little thin.
It's
you need
a decent life. He looks down, he's like, I'm not that thin. Fine. 200 gold pieces each. Don't expect this kind of payout every time. That's the maximum I could offer, and honestly, I was told to offer that to someone much more experienced than yourselves, but breakfast was pretty good, I suppose. So.
And
Callister,
perhaps...
that breakfast was amazing. Don't undersell me like that. I put
Don't
so
push your
much
luck.
effort into that.
Don't push it.
And perhaps you can shine a little light on this and kind of point to Viz motioning for the letter.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna kind of look at Kai and I'm looking for any kind of notion to see how he wants to approach this. You just want the decoded letter?
Yeah.
All right, I hand you over the decoded letter.
Okay. And walk towards Jallister, kind of outstretched to him, to take up this letter and get a glance at it.
All right. So as you hand it over to him, Jallister takes it, kind of frowning as he reads over it. Grinda, Garloth, take the stone and keep it safe. Yada yada yada. Agreements and the Xanathar Guild. Daddy scratches his chin. Where did you find this letter?
In a Nimblewright?
That he thanks, and you see him kind of pausing for a moment as he scans through, looking at all of your faces. Still looking for answers, it seems, on what happened here in your alley.
Yeah, a dozen people were killed outside our doorstep. Yeah, we're going to look for answers.
Understandable. Well, I don't know much about this stone, aside from what's circulating around. It seems that there are several interested parties in the stone itself and what it may lead to. I'm sure you already know some of the details, maybe more than even I do, but the Xanathar Guild is not to be trifled with if you can help it. You were lucky to get out alive when you did with Floon and Raynar, but am I to warn you, I suppose. Adventurers you are, and adventurers you will always be, so listening to me obviously will not be your prerogative.
Aren't you paying us to get involved with the Xanathar Guild?
Of course, that's my job.
The name of the woman there, is that familiar to you at all?
Daddy thinks there is one called Grinda the Strange. Garloff may be her last name, I'm not sure, honestly. She resides in Mishore, a part of the southern reach, just nearby the... let me move y'all over real quick. Just by the naval harbor, actually. Part of, not quite the dock ward, but more so than not, I suppose. She resides there. She is an eccentric one from what I've heard. I've never dealt with her personally, but she is a spellcaster of sorts. And also, I've been told that she has some kind of submersible machine, some kind of construct that allows her to venture within the harbor. She has put out postings before looking for adventurers brave enough to get inside the small metal box and go underwater with it. Quite frightful, really. Couldn't find me dead on one of those, but
That's awfully convenient.
That is very convenient.
We have potions.
whatever you say. With that, he
Kai
kind of
points to all you.
With that, he kind of shakes his head. He says, "That's all I know about Grinda. Whether or not this is the same Grinda you're seeking from this note here, I do not know. I only know of one, at least, that has come to my ears."
And where was that Grinda located
Yeah.
at again?
Give me that one more time.
It's on the map. It's in the bottom left corner. It's in the naval yard.
Oh, shit.
There's a
Found
little
you.
pin on there.
There we go.
The naval harbor?
Miss Shore.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he explains basically Miss Shore is this. He goes into a little bit of detail. Miss Shore is basically part of the dock ward. Miss Shore was actually struck by a fire a couple of years ago. This fire burned down a good chunk of it. This area is kind of run down. It's a place where paupers and beggars and such may end up being, as well as some unsavory types, mercenaries, things of that like, tend to gather around in the destroyed areas. Vagrants of all kind. It's not a good neighborhood, but one that could lead to possible opportunity for those seeking it.
Do you have any leads on where we should start looking for Harko Swornhold?
Daddy Nod says, as I said before, he was rumored to be within the dock ward somewhere. Exactly where, I'm not too sure. They've seen them in a few different places. Our representatives within the Harpers have given us some information on this. If you search around, I'm sure if you look in the right places and get lucky, you may be able to find him. And if you do, once again, what is out of sight is out of mind. What is quiet will not be known to others. So take care of it as you see fit.
Out of character real fast. When we did some work for the Harpers, we got like a pin. We got Harper pins, which we still have to like show Maxine that we were part of the Harpers. We don't have anything like that from Jallister, right? We don't have like a symbol. All right, so in character. So in case we do run into City Guard, could we have like a writ or something to show that we are on the Open Lord's business? Just to make sure we don't run into any problems. I would hate to be investigating and have to involve people who don't need to know about the dirty act we're going to commit. I don't want innocent guards just doing their jobs to be bothered by, becoming accessories to murder.
With that, he looks over and says, I have no writs, no written orders for you. If I did, it would be given to the guard. Otherwise, there would be no need to involve you. That being said, we in the Lord's Alliance do take care of those who serve us faithfully. Take care of this. Do it as quietly as possible, but if some misunderstandings do arise, do not worry too much about them. You may be taken away, you may be arrested, but you have some friends that you can rely on. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
What kind of vibe am I getting from this guy? Like the fact that he's like, hey, this is city business, but it's unofficial. Don't worry, you're cool if you get caught. Like, do I trust the fucking word he's saying, or is this like
it's Jallister, man? We know him.
Well, right. Well, I'm asking: is he being paid?
He's our boy.
Like, is the council he works for, the Lord's Alliance? Are they
phrasing
part of the government, or are they a council of rich people who are like, hey, kill this guy?
What is
the Lord's
a
Alliance
literal
is,
demigod?
The Lord's Alliance is a well-known organization. This organization is a culmination of different lords, ladies, kings, queens, you name it, along the Sword Coast. They all came together and made the Lord's Alliance. Okay? This is everything from Laeral Silverhand. She is a member of the Lord Alliance. She is the Open Lord of Waterdeep. To King Melendrich, who reigns over the Misty Forest, an ancient elf, a very powerful being who has been around for millennia. And he is also a member of the Lord's Alliance. And there's all different kinds of nobles and other kings and such that make their way into it. When the Lord's Alliance generally seeks out employees to do things like this, they have the most severe pool with local governments that you can imagine. Just because you are not allowed into the Lord's Alliance unless you are a leader of some kind of entity. So, with Jallister saying that, yeah, it does seem kind of shady. It does send you all a little bit off, but at the same time, this is obviously a sanctioned thing that he wants taken care of quietly. He does not, otherwise he would just have the guards going out for him, but they're kind of incompetent when it comes to things like this. They can't operate outside of their law. You can. And because you can be pardoned. And you can be forgiven for acts that you do if it's under the right circumstances, if it's for the right people.
The previous Open Lord was Raynar Neverember's dad, right?
Yes.
I'm
ousted for some unknown reason.
I'm drawing a blank. What's the name of the dude who got taken away from the villa?
Urstul Flox.
Yeah, Urstul.
Thank you.
Yes.
I was looking through my notes for it. Jalster, do you happen to know if your people have Erstofloxen in custody at the moment?
With that, he thinks for a moment, says, our people...
The guards, the city watch.
The watch does have him. He is being questioned, last I heard, but to little benefit. He is a very devout man, I suppose. Not giving us much.
Is there a chance we could have a crack at him? Again, we've already beat his ass once. Here.
You have. He doesn't look kindly on that, I think, but I cannot promise anything. Once again, he is under the guard's protection at the moment, and I do have friends here and there that I can talk to, but as of right now, it would be quite difficult to do so, so...
Not at the moment, but maybe if we get this job done for you, maybe, I mean, you're paying us a sizable amount as it is, but maybe a string could be pulled if we're
That I am.
proving our worth to the Lord's Alliance.
Quite possibly. Yes, Viz.
I think it may be beneficial for you to know. When we were looking for the stone, I took everything I could off Urstel when we knocked him unconscious. I found some empty vials, and Jot and I think that there might have been poison in them, but we didn't find any poison on his blades. So just maybe let your friends in the city watch know. He might have poisoned someone or something that we don't even know about. Just some information for you. It might be nothing. I don't know.
With that, Jalster kind of nods, says, I'll keep that in mind. It's quite odd for an assassin such as him to not have his poison ready. I wonder who the unfortunate sap was that got that dose of poison.
I personally have one question left, Jasta. It seems like there's a lot happening here in Waterdeep the last couple of weeks. There was that assassin down in the dock ward. There was a situation with the fireball outside our home. The villa, Raynar being kidnapped. There's the Xanathar. There's a lot happening, and from everything we've gathered, it's not always like this around here. What's going on?
With that, Jalster kind of leans forward, and you see him kind of looking down at his plate and the drink, and he stays there for about a minute. With that, he kind of sighs and says, kind of looking up at the ceiling, says, Waterdeep it's been my home for quite some time. I've enjoyed my life here. I've served as different jobs and things of that nature, eventually settling on the Lord's Alliance, but not long ago I was an adventurer, just like yourselves. I went through all the motions, did my share of helping people and things of that nature, and the Lord's Alliance ended up being something that met my goals, and has continued to do so. Waterdeep is, as you said, not always like this. There seems to be a lot riding on to this turmoil that you yourselves have found yourself embroiled within, this stone of galore. I've heard about it from our sources within and surrounding the Xanathar Guild, the Zhentarium as well, the Black Network that has recently arose here in the city. Everyone seems to be looking for it, seeking it out, trying to find this treasure that lies beyond it. Everything seems to lead back to it. So, exactly what is going to happen when it is found by someone regarding these factions, or yourselves even, if that was to be the case, I'm not too sure. It would be interesting to see how it plays out, though, and I would hope that with us all being friends, that I would be included in any discussions or any information regarding the stone that you may have uncovered. We are friends, after all.
I believe we're on the up and up at the moment, but
That note we showed you is the most recent sort of information we've had.
I pull out the stone and put it on the table. on the counter. It's right here.
With that, he nods, says, of course. Once again, I've heard different rumors and such, but nothing...
No, it's right here, Jallister. This is the stone. We found this on the Nimblewright,
I thought you were...
and it's magical.
With that,
Jot
Jallister looks
says
down.
it has magic in it.
That Jallister, you see for the first time his eyes kind of opening a bit wider as he looks down. Really?
I don't know that it's...
May I see it?
No, and I haven't been able to figure out what it does. But
No.
It's conjuration magic.
That was evocation. Was it conjuration?
I don't know. No, you're right.
Did I write it down?
No, it was evocation. I wrote it down.
I just remember someone saying, like, oh, that's the kind of magic that makes things go boom.
Yeah, I'm going to hand it over to him.
Then it was evocation.
If this is the stone, it might not be. But we did happen to find a magical stone on the Nimblewright that had this letter. What would your grace, your lady, want to do with it? I don't know what the proper
lady.
Your lady, our lady.
As you're saying that, you see you see Jallister eyeing this stone that you've brought out, and he looks over and says, well, the Lord's Alliance very much would like to get their hands on said stone. I'm no expert, obviously, but I don't think that is what you think it is based on what I've seen in my own travels.
Do you know what the stone looks like? My Discord is lagging so hard. I don't know if anyone else's is.
No.
No.
Mine's been actually really good tonight.
Yeah.
Do you know what this is, or what the Stone of Galore would look like?
With that, he still's kind of peering down at the stone. He takes his eyes off it, says, I don't know what the Stone of Galore looks like, no. I haven't heard anything of that sort. Just that it's being sought after. That stone, however, I may have an inkling. Could I see it for a moment? And he holds out a hand, just holding it out, not reaching for it or anything, waiting for somebody to give it to him.
Yeah, sure. Hand it over to him.
As you do so, he rolls it around, and it's small. It's bigger than a pebble, but it fits easily in your palm of your hand. He kind of rolls it around. You see him taking a fingernail and kind of scraping against it. And as he does so, you see dirt kind of crumbling up and falling out of his hand. And as he gets done, he kind of nods to himself and holds it up. Unknown to you before, as you had just kind of picked it up and then stowed it away, there was a lot of dirt covering and filling in crevices on the stone. As he holds it up, you see what appears to be a small face with an open mouth on the front side of the stone. As he holds it up, he says, I've seen stones like this before. They all share a somewhat similar makeup. This appears to be a sending stone. One that allows you to communicate over vast distances as long as you have both of a paired set of sending stones. Did you only find one? Did you find another?
Just the one.
Just the one.
He kind of looks down at it. Curious. But he kind of sets it back down on the table. That's what that appears to be. You may take it to someone to get it properly identified, but that is what I assume it is.
I'm pretty certain I know who has the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks. I never would have thought to peel off dirt. I thought for sure we had the Stone of Galore. Well, I'm sorry, Jot. You were right. I'm used to it. No big deal.
That's basically our expression. Yeah. Told you
The
so.
Jallister kind of looks around and says, well, this has been enlightening. I do hope that your mission is taken care of once again, quietly, if possible. If not, don't fret too much. It may take some time, but everything should work out in the end. But he looks down, he looks back at you, Viz. Says, I do thank you for the breakfast as well as this smoothie, you called it. It was quite delicious. I'm going to return back to my business. Feel free to let me know in the Yawning Portal or send a missive my way when the job is taken care of. Excuse me. If it is not taken care of, or if I am not made aware of it beforehand.
As he goes to leave, I'm gonna grab him on the arm and I get the feeling, like, after he just kind of stood at his plate for a minute, like, if you ever just want to talk during breakfast or something, we can talk. You've been here a long time, and your home is going through a rough place right now. If you ever just want to talk and have friends and not get lost in your cups at night, you can hang out with us. We're here, Alistair. You've been nothing but a good friend to us. And you're welcome to just come by and hang out with us. We have a lot of cute puppies. My puppy's name is Cade. He's the cutest, and he's the smartest, and he's the most goodest boy. And I'll
with
let you
that,
play with him.
Alistair reaches up and kind of pats you on the shoulder and says, I appreciate the sentiment, Viz. I'm not too worried. Things like this typically work themselves out, typically by adventurers meddling in business. That usually isn't worth meddling in, but I imagine someone may come along and fix all of this right for us. We'll have to wait and see. I do like watching the machinations and the strings being pulled within the city. It'll be quite fun to watch, but I appreciate the invitation, Viz. I do have prior business to take care of, but I'll keep your words in mind. With that, he turns to you all, kind of nodding to each in turn. Says, good luck, and with that, he exits out of Troll Skull Tavern.
Well,
You want to go talk to a dragon?
He
I'll
seems
find
sad,
people to the
guys.
harbor. Yeah. He's probably stressed a lot.
How do I make the sending stone work?
We have to have the other.
No, you
Well,
don't.
So, yeah. I think
Well,
you can
didn't-
just, like, I think you can use it once a day. I don't know, do you want us to roll for this to know how it works, or would, like, having some arcane knowledge just know how it works? Can you roll Arcana?
I feel like a sending stone's fairly common,
Yeah, it's
so
like
we'll say
common.
that
I'm right, yeah.
you kind of all know the gist of how it works.
But how do I make it work right now?
I think if you just, like,
You
focus on it.
speak into it like it's a can. And
Kai, who do you think has the other one of these?
Well, seeing as this Nimblewright was working with what was the lady's name at the
Yala.
yeah
Gralhan?
Yala Gralhan. Seeing as how the Nimblewright was under her control, I'm pretty certain this leads back to her, which means she's now a connection because the note was wrapped around this zone, right?
I think we
what
found
I'm
them
seeing?
independently of each other.
But the
Okay.
thing had
But yeah, it said
Nimblewright had
take
both
this
things.
stone and keep it safe. So kind of looking at that, Kyle will be like, I'm pretty certain this is just going to lead us back to her, which means we're pretty certain that the Xanathar Guild is going to be coming for this as well. According to the note, anyways.
Havoc, I've got two things I want to take care of before we go off and do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to swing by Steam and Steel and buy crossbow bolts.
Okay.
And then I was also going to swing by Vincent's and see if he had any updated information for us and to fill him in on anything we found out since we last spoke.
Okay. All right. So everybody getting ready to head out. It's still pretty early in the morning, before noon at this point. City's pretty lively already. You do notice that the skies definitely could be threatening to rain here soon, but for the most part, it seems passable as far as the weather is. Does anybody have anything they want to do, or you want to all get ready and head out? I assume heading towards the dock ward.
Yeah, just I'm ready for whatever. So whenever Risk is ready, we'll head out.
Just take me 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
All right. So Risk, you head out to Steam and Steel to start off of. You do see two of your friends, Imbric and Abby, here working already, or early in the morning. You inquire about crossbow bolts, and Imbric, being kind of the weaponsmith, points you over to several quivers that are kind of on the wall. You see arrows as well as crossbow bolts, as well as smaller ones for like hand crossbows, set there as well. He tells you just to select what you want, offering you the running price of gold piece, if I remember correctly.
For 20? That seems all right.
I think that's what it is.
Should be, yeah, 1 for 20.
Yeah, 1 gold for 20.
Perfect.
So you're able to purchase that for a gold piece. And as you leave out, bidding Imbric and Avi farewell, you head back across Troll Skull Alley, heading towards the Tiger's Eye, which is Vincent Trench's private investigation place of business. As you move up, you find the door locked, as it typically is in all of your previous encounters. As you knock on it, you knock on the door, waiting a few moments for Vincent to turn up, and about a minute passes, and nobody opens the door.
Fair
Knock
enough.
again, waiting, and still no Vincent.
No, I want to knock
Yeah.
twice. Just knock once. If he's not there, I'll head back to the tavern.
All right, so as you all, seeing Risk return back to the tavern, shiny new quiver full of bolts in tow.
I've been going through quite a lot of these.
All right, you're free to move about the cabin. Where do y'all want to head to?
I want to take a submarine to go see a dragon.
I know, right? It's the best shit ever. We'd also have these potions, so we can.
Well, I assume we'd have to get
Things go
out.
south.
I assume we'd have to get out of the boat at some point, but I just think it'd be cool to be under the water.
Yeah, it would be.
It's pretty cool.
Probably just like, yeah.
So I think we should head towards Mistshore, which is in the dock ward. We should be looking for signs of Kenkus or Xanathari things on our way there. See if we could eliminate a few blocks just in our in our travels there, and then let's scope out, see if we can find Grinda the Strange. And then, do we know where from the Great Harbor we should be looking for the dragon?
It's just in the harbor was all we were told.
We should probably try and find some sailors to talk to. The mage people mentioned being the sailors being
Startled
scared.
Sailors, yeah.
Okay, so maybe we start at Mistshore. We can look for Grinda the Strange while also talking to sailors and also looking for Xanathari things.
Jesus.
At least we don't have to look for a Nimblewright anymore.
True. You can leave that
What was that?
ridiculous looking thing.
I liked it a lot, though. It's really cool. But yeah. I'll
She uses it as a quarterstaff now.
What?
It's
Improvised
her,
weapon.
it's her spellcasting focus now.
Yes! Yes!
Every time she casts a spell, whee!
That would mean a Nimblewright has to be close by.
Not once it comes to focus.
Sometimes it's limp.
Happens to the best of us. All right, so
Does it?
Oh, does it?
I don't know. Which one of us is the best of us?
Happens to me all the time.
Okay, cool. So Steve would be the best
I
of
don't
us.
know what we're talking about. What are we talking
Me
about?
either.
We're talking about erectile
Penises.
dysfunction.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Subtlety. Not
All right, so
the name of the
heading
game.
towards Mistshore, going through the dock ward, looking for Kenkus, the circle with the spokes, beholders, people with beholder tattoos.
So just keeping a real good eye out for a lot of different things. Got it.
And a,
Yeah.
Uh,
a scar
They have a
shaped like a
secret club
wishbone.
What was
patch
that?
that we should be looking out
Oh.
for too.
What was that one tavern that was in the dock ward? Not the Yawning Portal.
Oh,
other
the
one.
Scarface's
The-
Tavern?
The
broken.
there was
haired
the one that we
The
kept
mule
going
one?
to. There was
With
the
the
mule
dung
Mule
one,
Skull Tavern.
and then there was the other one. But maybe
The-
the mule one is the one I was originally thinking of.
that risk
The
like
dung
someone
sleepers.
there. Is that the one you were thinking?
I was thinking of both of them, but mostly the one that the dung sleepers were all at.
What were you saying, Kai?
I was just thinking you were talking about the one with Scarface.
That's the other one.
It had,
That
a,
was the
had,
other
like,
one.
it had an anchor.
Yeah,
In
they
the
had
roof.
the anchor.
That
on
was
it, yeah.
cool. Hang
That's
on.
what I was just thinking of. I'm like, the dude there.
Scoreface.
Scarface.
Yeah, that was a place that existed.
It was.
That you definitely didn't just make up right then, Havoc, for sure.
I would never do
So
that.
we
Everything I
can
do
do
is
that.
completely planned
Well,
out.
that,
And
that one was
The
called the
skewered
Skewered
dragon.
Dragon.
The skewered dragon. Yep, I just found it.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so going
But I
back
think maybe
to
we'll
the
start with the. Do we want to stop by the? What was the Guild Sweepers one called? Shit, I haven't just looked at it.
The Mule Skull.
Mule
Mule
Skull.
Skull Tower.
Mule Skull. Yeah.
That was way further south. We're like Miss Shore's the northern part of Dockward.
Oh, you're right. I wasn't scrolled properly and I didn't realize that. So never mind. We won't go there. Yeah, we'll just head toward the shore.
As we're walking in that direction, can I keep my eye out for people that look very sickly?
very sickly.
Like they're infected with disease or something of that nature, that maybe I can be of service to them.
Okay. All right. So with all that in mind, all of you heading to the west, kind of heading towards the Dockward to the south as well, heading towards this place that was keyed out on your map towards Miss Shore, being this kind of dilapidated neighborhood of the Dockward. Everybody give me investigation checks.
I mean, I'm just gonna roll poorly. Can we just like? Yeah.
Drink.
Oh
Two
no!
drinks.
Oh no!
No, what were we doing?
Freaking girls, man. Got distracted.
Alright. Fawning over Jalister, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so...
We were glancing into each other's eyes. Back off.
Jalister is thick with 0 C's. There isn't one.
You were going back and forth. So Jot and Talia were kind of going back and forth, discussing the arrangement they have with Talia carrying Jot around whenever she goes through Seamus's eyes, and trying to get some ground rules set up on that, since it's been kind of a haphazard thing up till now. But they're very enveloped in this conversation, not really paying too much attention around them.
Jot wants more butt support.
I will try and grasp
Like,
your
you
butt
really
more. I will just
butt a little
get
bit
in there.
Is that how we're
I
starting
will
off
cup
tonight,
it.
huh?
I will cup it for you.
Thank you, thank you.
Maybe
With, like,
Jot
one
can make
hand to-
like a baby carrier. The backpack thing.
I think we've discussed this. I think we got a
Alright.
hard no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck
we
you.
discussed
Jot
it.
hasn't tried to make it yet, though, but she could. You could be a mounted caster. You could be on Talia's back throwing lightning bolts and shit.
In
Yeah, but she
Oh,
runs straight
fucking-
at things. I don't want to be like directly next to things. When
But you've got a
fighting is
barbarian
happening.
between you and the thing.
Yeah,
I'll
but
just
I'm
move my
still
head
right
over.
next to it. It
That's
could
at least
still hit
3/4 cover for you.
so
me. Okay, one, Talia's not that tall, and I'm
I'm
not
a little
that tiny.
shorty.
So this is what we have for my halfling in our Tomb of Annihilation game, because we're walking around all of the Chuth looking for, all these different temples, and I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm going to walk this 25.
My 3-year-old would love that as he grabs Steven's hair and reins him like a horse.
Yeah.
Grasp it
Sorry,
firmly.
he just turned 4. 4-year-old.
4-year-old.
Wow, good job, Mom. All right, so as you're making your way downtown,
Mm-hmm. Walking fast.
walking
Face
fast.
to face.
Oh, wait, that's a
Let's
song.
see.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
What? That's a song? I just thought we were just like mind melding there and just like had the same thoughts.
Is it weird that song makes me want to play PUBG?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
White chicks.
I feel like Havoc and I were singing that one day when we were landing.
I know I was singing that because that's what I do apparently.
I
when
just
play
always
video games.
associate it with one of those Disney Channel original movies because that was the first place I ever heard the song.
Mine's Terry Crews and White Chicks, for sure.
Yep.
100%. That's the only version I like.
All right, so
Dramatic head turn and everything.
as you're making your way through the Dockward, heading to the southwest, it takes you a good hour or so to make your way through the city streets. You do notice that it starts to sprinkle, unfortunately, as you're making your way through. but it's not the worst thing that could happen until it starts raining a bit heavier. You find yourself kind of surrounded by people huddling up, trying to, these little things with umbrellas and such cut over their head. A lot of big, heavy cloaks being brought out to shelter against the rain. You were all kind of wet, not really prepared for this, unfortunately, minus those of you with some cloaks. But regardless, you do understand that this is probably going to be a normal occurrence during the spring here in Waterdeep, especially those that have been here for at least a year.
I just
as you're making your way,
prestidigitate the water out of my shoes. Because
it starts to get exhausted.
It's just the worst.
Yeah, it's just squish, squish.
Yeah.
Squish, squish, shit. You were able to keep out of the standing water. You see it running down the streets and such, but sticking to the sidewalks, you're able to keep it mostly out of all of your clothes. But it is not the most enjoyable walk you've had throughout the city. Eventually, though, you do find yourself heading into the dock ward. You see the streets do empty out a bit, not too much. There's still plenty of commerce going on, even despite the unfortunate weather. As you make your way south, past the Yawning Portal, past Castle Waterdeep, making your way all the way down towards this mist shore, down by the naval harbor, you find yourself moving into a bit of a... not a fancy neighborhood at all. You see that there's an assemblage of ramshackle homes that seem to be made of wood from old ships that, were kind of improvised into shelter. Several buildings, even now, even though you heard this fire happened a couple of years ago, are still piles of ash, with just foundations still standing. You do see that there are some burned out shells here and there, but at best, these places only have old sails for rooftops. But otherwise, not much to them. You see a lot of people kind of huddled together within some of these places. Obviously, people that are not of great wealth, people without homes and things of that nature. It's probably one of the more seedier places you found yourself in. As you're looking around, you don't see anything that catches your attention too much. No man with a tattoo on his hand. Doesn't seem like you've been able to find him quite yet. You might have to give a little more time searching the rest of the dock ward to find this man that's...
No, well, I mean, not looking for him in particular, but also looking for, Xanathar hideouts,
right,
or Kenku people, none of that, right?
Yeah, still, once again, nothing really popping out to you, nothing you're really noticing.
We spot a Kenku. Attack!
No, I was going to follow him. If I see
Kenku,
I'm going to assume he's going to join a gang.
Wow, racist.
I mean, every Kenku we've found so far.
I've tried to kill him, so...
You do see a couple Kenku on your way down there, though. You see two Kenku actually sitting over on the corner of one of the streets. You see them huddled up with these large, and you wouldn't even notice them, but you see these large hoods drawn over their heads and then a long beak sticking out the front, obviously marking them as Kenku. You can't really see anything minus their feathered hands and such that you do occasionally see as they're squawking back and forth towards each other. You see them about 50 feet ahead of you or so. It's hard to see really far, like you would on a clear day, with the rain kind of hampering your vision a bit. But you do see a couple Kenku.
What are they saying?
Are
language is that?
Are they making any sounds, like something that would be audible sounds other than just bird squawking?
Hey,
anybody that wants to try to catch their conversation, make a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay.
I know Kenkus are mimics, so I want to try and figure out what they're mimicking. Oh, dang, Kyle.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I was like,
oh, it was a crit,
on.
too.
Yeah, that sucks.
Unfortunate. Alright, Viz, you're able to pick up words here and there in between the random squawking. You hear them saying kind of the same things over and over again in a very similar tone of voice. It could be the same voice, if you weren't mistaken. You hear this low kind of guttural sound as they look back and towards each other and kind of throw their hands up saying, "Rough day. Very rough day. Work again. Rough day. Very rough day."
Mimicking. Yeah. Fucking useless.
Rough day.
Rough day. Very
I
rough.
wonder how Kenku tastes.
They're still sentient creatures. Risk.
Just curious. I didn't say I was going to eat them. Just curious.
If during our investigation it's not too out of the way for me to like keep an eye
Eat
on
one?
them and
Oh.
maybe see where they go, I want to do that. I'm gonna try and stay like within earshot, but like if we're on our way, if we're just gonna quickly pass them, then I won't worry about it. But if there was like a way I could post up and see them, I would want to do that. I'm not sure
At
where
this
they
point-
are in the dock ward.
When you're spotting them, you are about here or so. You're almost to the neighborhood of Miss Shore, but not quite there yet. You still have a little ways to go, another 10 minutes or
Move
so of
camera.
walking. But
Move
you see
camera,
them kind of
Shore.
on the corner there in front of you. Follow them if you
Okay.
want to.
I just want to make note of the location. You know, because rather than just randomly picking a spot when we're looking for the guy later, you know, maybe starting here we might be able to find something. But we're working on 3 other quests right now. That's
All right.
Leave Seamus to watch them.
I don't want Seamus to
Alright.
get all wet. That's not fair to him.
Okay.
All right, so you continue on, once again moving into this pretty dilapidated looking neighborhood that you're able to probably surmise that this is Miss Shore. What are your intentions as you arrive into this neighborhood?
How big is the neighborhood?
Fairly large. I mean,
Okay.
it's,
Decent size.
several, a couple blocks and everything, around it with the different destroyed homes. Some still standing and such, but a few of them just burned to ash, missing walls. Off to your south, as you're kind of standing there looking over a lot of these destroyed homes, you see what appears to be a large, not a quite galleon size, but pretty close to it, ship that's been kind of pushed up against the shore. And you see that there's people walking around on top of it, and you see several sails that have been kind of moved up for makeshift housing. You assume this is another house that people are using right now. Once again, it's kind of large.
Does
We've seen
anyone? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do we see any sailors? Any naval folk? Anyone who spends time on the water?
As you're looking around, yeah, you see lots of different sailors. Maybe not those of. You just see a lot of different sailors and such. People that are working the dock, you see everybody kind of moving hurriedly back and forth as the rain is kind of soaking everyone to the bone. But you do see several sailors working here in the dock ward.
So while we are working on a couple different things, I do want to go ask around and see if anyone has any information on a dragon in the harbor.
Okay. Oh, that's not the right one. Shit. Force Gray. Alright. Make another investigation check. Risk.
I'm not real good at these.
As you're moving around, all of you kind of sticking together and such, but keeping your eyes peeled. Risk looking particularly for sailors. You see a few ahead of you, and you see one man kind of standing off to the side of them, kind of motioning for them to work and such. Obviously seems to be a higher rank than them, if nothing else. You move up to him, and you see a human before you who looks down and kind of asks you what you want. And as you inquire about this dragon, he kind of thinks for a moment and says, "Yeah, I've seen him. He jumped out at me the other day, actually. He wanted to know about this ship down in the southern part of the dock ward, this Sea Maiden's Fair that's down there. Carnival ship that's been sending in different parade floats for some upcoming festivals for Greengrass and such. Wanted to know information about that, and honestly, I've never seen a dragon before. So I kind of freaked out a little bit, and I didn't say anything. He might have been insulted. I'm not too sure. He left and didn't say anything else, and I haven't seen him since. It was quite strange, actually."
Whereabouts in the harbor were you when you saw him?
With that, he kind of points to the south. He says, "Right outside the dock, past the ships there. I was on a small sailing craft, dinghy going back and forth, and he popped out of the water right next to my boat.
All right.
So, by the south gate area, that side?
No, like south, the bottom part of Mistshore, basically in the water there, in the naval harbor.
Just past
Oh,
the gate.
right here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he was in the naval harbor essentially.
Thank you.
As part of our knowledge of Waterdeep, dragons can't enter Waterdeep without being expressly given permission. Does that go up to like the shoreline?
As far as you know, you've never like inquired about this to anybody yet.
Isn't it like common knowledge, like Waterdeep will never be attacked by dragons?
It's been said that there is an ancient ward on Waterdeep that stops attacks by dragons, but specifics of it aren't really common knowledge.
All right, cool.
Havoc, is this like a jetty that you could like walk out on?
1 second, let me actually look at the map you're looking at. Where?
Like,
that's a wall.
could you get up on it?
Possibly. You don't see any like guard stations or anything on it. It just seems to be sticking out about 10 feet out of the water. This kind of naval wall across it.
All right, and I'm gonna ask the gentleman real quick. You haven't seen anyone with a? Was it a tattoo or was it a scar? It was a scar in the back of his head.
Scar. Yep.
Yeah, that's a real specific. I'm not even gonna bother bringing that up. Thank him for his information and walk away.
As you're doing so, he kind of yells after you. He says, hey, "The dragons seem quite friendly. I don't think he means any harm, but good luck."
Brom, just so you know, in the future, the metallic colored ones usually are.
Noted. Still got a lot of teeth though.
And lightning breath.
Didn't know about that one. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh wait, I have a question. Do you know about Grenda the Strange? I think she's called.
With that, the man looks at you. Grenda the Strange. Oh, you must be talking about old Grenda.
Garlock?
Yeah, Garlock. Yeah. I've heard about her. She's a bit of an eccentric one, wanting to travel below the water instead of on top of it. It's crazy. She lives down to the southeast. She has a small home there on the dock.
I'm gonna look straight at Talia and say, "See, even he thinks this is crazy."
Sounds really cool.
Shrugs.
Going to point in the direction and be like, that way, right?
Yeah, with that, he kind of points to the southeast. Yeah, that way.
I'm going to give him 2 silver and say, thanks for your time.
With that, he looks up. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Sticks in his pocket. Get back to work, and starts yelling at the other sailors.
Do we want to try to get a boat and go out in the water? Or...
Yeah, like an underwater boat.
Yeah, do you want to just go talk to Grenda?
I mean, we're already here.
Did
Too bad you all just can't jump right in.
Well, if I drink this, I can.
I
But-
see anybody along the way having it? If not, it's okay.
Nobody looking sickly now.
Okay. As we're kind of walking, I'd like to walk up to Jot and say, maybe could you take this and put this in to go towards what we Rio to the Xanathar and hand her 12 platinum.
To the Xanathar?
Yes. For our
Zhentarium.
Wait,
or
your money to the
Zhentarium.
Xanathar?
I'm sorry. The Zhentarium.
Sorry, I'm just messing with you. Sure.
Yeah, to the Zhentarium.
Yeah,
So add 12 platinum to that.
Okay.
They're both Z's.
They're
Yeah.
both no.
Well,
one's an X,
one-
one's a
one's
C.
an X.
But
I'm
they sound
just
the
learning
same.
to read.
They both sound like Z's to me. No.
Maybe they're
Riz.
Z's. No,
Sorry,
never
common
mind.
is super stupid, by the way. Makes no sense. Alright, so where y'all headed? The naval harbor is kind of towards your south, where this dock kind of spreads out. You were kind of motioned towards where Grinda may reside, off to the southeast a bit. Still heading towards the harbor as well. Where do you want to go?
Towards that lady's house. I
we'll
really want to get on a submarine and go find a dragon. This sounds fucking awesome.
I know, this is the most...
I hope it's yellow.
Okay, Eve to CK. Remember, she's working with the evil lady.
She's the potential connection to the Xanathar Guild.
So we find out everything we know, we kill her, and then we have a submarine.
Probably need a pilot.
Jot looked at a coffee maker and figured out how to fucking work it. She can figure out an underwater boat.
Hey there, Otter.
Sound logic, right?
You're probably right.
You can at least, see where she lives. Just check out her house a little bit at least, see what's up. But yeah, we should probably be, careful around her. She might be bad.
All right.
Kai, thank you for... Is this all the platinum that you, had?
It's nothing, really, I promise.
Okay, well, this will definitely help. You said you gave me
12.
12? Okay, that's what I thought.
God, he's so rich.
I know.
That was out of character.
All right, so... God, there's so much that can happen right now. All right.
So it's raining. We're looking for Xanathar things. Viz is being racist towards Kenku, eyeballing any Kenkus. We're also going towards a dragon, and we're going towards a lady who lives on the dock down by the river who has a submarine.
Down by the
This is the most complicated, I think.
Yeah, so we're gonna... It's raining. It's hard to navigate. You're in an unfamiliar territory. None of you have been to Miss Shore before. Not even Jot, who's been here for a while. It's an unsavory part of town, right? Everybody... Wait, no. Select a leader. Who's navigating? Or, well, if you're trying to head straight there, somebody will need to navigate. If you want to spend a few hours looking around, you can all roll. So, pick your poison.
Wait, I thought we confirmed the direction. I talked to the sailor, and I was very specific. There, that dock right there, right?
There's like I said, several thousand feet of dock here. It's going to take time to investigate all of it.
I vote for Jot. She's been around here the longest. She also has
Perception check.
She also has the highest
I
intelligence.
don't have... I think
She
she's
also
a
has
perception.
she also
check.
has the shortest legs, so we don't leave her behind.
I vote for Kai.
Yeah, I
It
think
was an
I...
investigation check, by the way.
Was it...
I mean,
Nope,
Yeah,
I
I
vote
mean,
for
Jot.
Jot again. Back to Jot.
Thank you.
I just want to help
If
Jot
it was
however I
perception, totally
Does she
different
get
conversation.
advantage if I put her up on my
No,
shoulder?
Perception check. I don't want to do a perception check.
I will use my cloak and hold it over her head so that less rain gets in her hair so that it doesn't fog up her. Does Jot wear glasses?
No.
Okay, so she doesn't get water running down her face.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want to be helpful.
Yeah, you all look like wet rats. It's bad. It's super rainy and stuff.
Why is Talia so
okay.
happy?
Talia
I like
looks...
being this wet.
So, for some reason, she just looks
Of course
like
she does.
at home, more attractive. She's almost glowing with beauty. It's crazy. All right, so with everybody
not the
helping,
water.
you'll have advantage, but with the rain going on, it's disadvantage, so it evens out. So give me a straight
Straight roll?
investigation roll.
Oh, investigation. Perfect. Good. Okay.
Never mind. Too late.
Big bucks.
With guidance.
Yeah, spam guidance, man.
That was my
And
plan
inspire her.
today. I'll kind of just walk around and just place my hand on Jot's shoulder and cast guidance, and just
Putting a lot of pressure
continuously
onto
do
Jot
this.
right now.
I know.
Just caressing Jot.
It's fine.
It's all right. You got this. I'm giving you good pets.
It's okay. It's okay.
Hey!
All right, so the D4 too. Can you break 25? Maybe you find a shortcut.
Aw.
Oh. Okay.
Could have inspired her.
Did you inspire her? No. Damn. I was trying to make you burn resources. All right.
What? So we can save an hour?
Is
This 24, and I wasn't aware. Is there a time clock somewhere?
Bum bum.
As you find yourselves moving through, Jock kind of leading the way, she says, the man that we didn't get the name of, the sailor, went down this way. He had a name, by the way. We should go this way. So you
His name
start
was
heading
Two
down
Silver.
to the east. Yeah, it is now, apparently. You start heading to the east. You move past a couple more buildings that seem to be wet ash at this point, walls missing and such. Jot's still kind of leading the way, and all of you trusting the gnome friend of yours who's never been here before, but she has a good head on her
know
shoulders,
what
so
I'm doing.
she
It's
seems
fine.
what she's doing. You make your way through a small alley as you pass up, and you see this large, front side of a ship beside you. It's just the front of the hull coming up to a point, and you see this very hastily carved out piece of the wood with a door kind of slapped onto the side of it. It's kind of crooked and such. You make your way past that, and you see the dock before you. You see water lapping up against this kind of hole of the ship next to you, and in front of you, you see what appears to be another building. You see several men standing out in front of this building. The men are moving back and forth, and they're shouting, and the rain kind of muffles their voices, but you hear them shouting, even through the rain. Now come out now! You have what we want. Come out now, Grinda.
I want to step back out of view and just try and listen to what's going on.
How many are there?
Are y'all trying to be secretive about this? You're
Uh,
in an alleyway right now, not quite in sight, but if you start
Yes.
investigating.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody roll stealth with advantage.
Because of the storm.
It's raining.
Only a 24. I really should multi in. Wow.
Hey.
I'm out of drink.
No.
And with that, we take a quick
Okay.
break.
The lowest was an 18. Okay.
yeah.
I mean, thanks for advantage, I would have had 6.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. The rain is good and bad. Once again, your visibility is limited because of this. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I want to be listening, right? Like, I want to try and hear what they're talking about.
Would a fog cloud look conspicuous since it's raining?
How far
Might a
away
little
are
bit
we?
weird. You're about 30 feet or so as you're moving through between this hull of a ship and then another building to your right that's coming down off to your east, off to your south. You see where the dock is and everything, right? Off to the east as well. The dock's kind of wrapping around here. You're kind of moving out into not a jetty, almost like a peninsula, almost a very miniature one, right? So water's surrounding you kind of on three sides. To your south, I have a map. Why am I fucking describing all this? Let me see what y'all see, because I don't know how the dynamic lighting's exactly what it
Okay,
is.
so we're hearing them over here.
So you see these several men, 5 men. You see that they're beating on this door here, pushing up against it, obviously trying to break into it. Off to your south, you see this building here, but then you look a little bit further south and you see this large ship that I mentioned before that's kind of shoved up onto the dock. You see a matter of old sails that have been kind of torn and tapered off to give some semblance of roof. You see several individuals walking back and forth on top of this ship. As you're moving forward, listening, everybody give me perception checks at disadvantage.
God, that would have been another crit.
Oh. 11, I think, was the best.
And me too.
11 was the best.
Mine would have been a
Yes.
crit as well.
I rolling that 20s. I better be afraid if y'all get in the combat tonight. All right.
So 14
So,
best?
14 is the
14?
highest.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't say 14.
Yeah, those of you above 10 hear these men shouting. One man in particular, you see this dwarf standing behind the others as he's yelling through as they're beating on the door and ramming their shoulders against it. You hear him yelling out, "Let us in, Grinda. We want what was promised to us." All of you hear the chiming of a much more feminine and higher pitched voice, but you can't quite understand the words. It's very muffled, obviously probably coming from inside this building they're trying to break into.
Can we see any... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to point in the direction of Jot around the corner and message, do you want me to try to calm these individuals a bit?
Sure.
What's down here, just straight south of this corner?
Old refuse and piled up tables and old wood and stuff like that.
I'm gonna try and sneak over there, and try and see if I can get a look to what these guys are wearing. If I think they're City Watch, if there's Amathor Guild, if there's Zhentarium, if they're Harper, if they're whatever those fist dudes are called, Emerald Enclave. Maybe they're one of those other guilds.
Okay. Roll me a nurse stealth check.
I feel like we need like a yearbook with everyone listed in there.
Then
I mean, I don't know how stealthy I'm going to be, but here's where I'm moving to, in an effort to get a better sight.
And I'm also going to ready a longbow shot for them to act hostile towards Viz.
Kai is going to kind of extend his hand up a little bit, like to tell everybody to slow down, calm, and then drop calm emotions on this guy here, which will catch all 5 of them. And I want to get them all to just settle the hell down. So it's a 20-foot cube. So that size, and then move it just on top of them. And it is a
Charisma.
yeah, DC 14.
14. Okay. So Viz, as you sneak forward, you see them all very preoccupied with this door, yelling inside, a few of them rushing up and trying to beat into the door. You see the door moving now as you get closer. You see it swinging open and then stopping abruptly. Seems to be held tight by something on the other side of it. You hear this voice once again saying, "I do not agree to this deal! Go away!" As you're getting closer, you see shimmering through the air. Even through the rain, you can barely perceive something happening around these men as Kai casts Calm Emotions. Kai, you feel this magic taking effect on 3 of the individuals. You see 3 of the individuals that are up closer to the door, not the dwarf standing behind them. This dwarf is... Viz gets closer to tell a little bit more about him, be able to see him a little bit clearer. You see several of the men kind of slowing down and looking a bit confused. They look around and they kind of turn around to look back towards the dwarf and seem to be speaking back and forth in hushed tones, seemingly confused for a moment. The dwarf, Viz, as you're seeing him a bit better, you see that he is wearing not wearing a shirt. You see these heavily tattooed across his chest. You see one more very alarming feature. You see his hand. His left hand and forearm are missing. Instead, on them, you see what appears to be a crossbow that's been attached at the stump on his hand itself, that he's waving around like it's his hand, going back and forth.
I dig it.
Is it made of metal?
I mean, it's a crossbow.
No, the part that's attaching it to his hand.
Dude,
oh yeah,
that's
that's
fucking
cool.
cool.
That is awesome.
You see for a few moments as these individuals are going back and forth, kind of talking and such. You then hear the dwarf shouting out, "What's wrong with you fucking idiots? Get back to knocking the door down!"
Do I recognize now that I'm a little bit closer? Do I see any sort of distinguishing guild markings or tattoos on him?
Make a perception check.
Still at disadvantage, or am I close enough?
Yeah, do it regular roll.
Hey, goddamn, Steve, you're rolling so good tonight.
Yeah, running really, really good. As you're looking closer at the backside of this dwarf, as he's waving this crossbow arm around, shouting at these individuals that seem to have lost their wits for a moment, you see the tattoos across his back are forming up, and you start to see a pattern. They're wrapping up in these concentric circles, and then you see they all end in a very small-looking circle. And you start to see this same design all across it of these, what look like eye stalks, all across these tattoos on his back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look towards Kai and Risk because they're in the front. They can see me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to lift up my shirt. I'm going to make a big beholder show up on my chest. Just going to will a tattoo to exist there. And I'm going to go like this and nod over to them. And
He's a traitor.
Not
I
saying-
shoot this. I'm
This takes a crossbow bolt to the chest. Damn it!
it's a longbow. He's going to miss.
All right.
So I want to silently try and communicate to them. I'm looking for showing them beholder, these guys, and just kind of look at them.
Okay.
And I'm going to stay back and down and wait for them.
You all recognize Viz doing something, and you see this tattoo appearing across his chest that has this. It's like a large circle, and then some features, kind of it's one large eye, and then a bunch of little stalks. And you all look at it, and you're like, "Oh shit!"
When we went to the old Zolob shop, there was a beholder in the window.
Mhm. The little
That's the
stuffed
only
one.
beholder I've ever seen. So
So it looks
That's
like the
what I
little stuffed
recreated.
animal
So
version
it's,
of it.
It's a little like
a little
chibi anime
beanie
looking
baby.
purple beholder that's on his chest right now.
Okay.
but you like
So yeah, kind of look at Risk and do the kind of nodding gesture. Like,
We gonna-
you ready?
Let's do it. Havoc, I'm going to let the arrow fly at the dwarf.
All right.
And yeah, I immediately just gonna charge in. So if I have
Okay.
to wait,
At
then-
that point, yep, we're going to have one surprise action coming from Risk, and then everybody go ahead and roll for initiative.
can we take a quick break too before we start?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get initiative out of the way.
Yeah.
Let this one thing go through.
Yeah,
and then
totally.
we'll
Oh.
take-
Oh.
Oh, actually, that's an advantage, right?
Yes.
another
Okay,
one.
so yeah, I'm going to
Holy
keep
cow,
the 20.
Steve.
I'm going to keep the
Jesus
24.
Christ.
Yeah, I've
What?
rolled
Prayer,
Like
did you?
6 crits.
He just wants
You
to
get
get
a-
drunk tonight.
Apparently, I need to go make a drink and then make another one afterwards. All right,
Man.
so
His totes
Why
human.
does it say totes
13 will
human?
hit. Wait, where's
Oh, and then risk with an at
In
one.
the turn order?
Totes human?
Totes humans. What?
Why is that a thing?
I don't know.
Did I put that in the rollable table? I might have done that.
And
I
Havoc,
don't remember where it
Maybe
is.
that you've named his tokens or
Maybe
something.
rename that token to say that.
and Havoc, as I after I took the shot, I dropped it and drew my short sword and hand crossbow.
Okay. All
That
right.
was the
So
point.
Risk, why are you making a mess? You could have just put it away nicely. I mean, 100 feet away, right?
'Cause I never
As
knew.
this
I gotta
happens,
I gotta go pick that up.
this Viz sending out the signal to everybody, you all kind of exchange glances back and forth to each other. Kai and Risk locking eyes for a moment and nodding to each other. With that, Risk raises up this longbow, letting the arrow fly. It sinks straight into the back of this dwarf. Ah! As he gets hit in the back for 7 piercing damage, letting out a cry that you all hear. Immediately, you see all the individuals turning back around, seeing... Make one more stealth check, Viz. Seeing
Dude.
the group of you standing in the alley, not seeing Viz hiding behind all of this clutter and such, as they all turn to you and prepare for combat. And before we get started into it, let's go ahead and take our quick 5-minute break, and then we'll see what happens as you
When we get
fight.
back, do we all get free actions or bonus
No.
actions before?
Nope, that's only going to be Risk, and then we'll start at top of the genre.
Okay.
All right, BRB.
All right. So yeah, you heard him. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break here. When we get back, we will continue with combat against these Xanathar Guild individuals and see what Grinda has to say to us. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Whoa, welcome back, chat. We are getting ready to jump right
I
back
need to
into our
make that
game.
emote.
That would be a cool emote, yes.
Oh, that is.
Everybody ready?
That's gonna
I'm
kick
ready.
my ass here in a little bit.
All right, let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, so Calm Emotions is going on 3 of these individuals who are kind of like, why are we, like, what, man, why are we fighting? Like, we could all be friends with each other and stuff and things and, like, what's going on here? And then an arrow flies across and hits this guy in the back. Hurrah! You see the arrow sticking out as he turns around, just a furious look in his eyes as he looks back towards all of you up to the northwest. Viz, who has not been seen by anybody, surprisingly. What do you want to do?
I'm going to take a piece of iron out of my component pouch, and I'm going to light a very small flame, and I'm going to heat it up. But while I'm burning it, I'm going to focus on the base of that guy's hand crossbow arm thing. Probably actually the bow part where that connects the string. I want to get that red hot, and I'm going to focus all my energy on this metal, but I'm applying it to his thing, and I'm going to cast heat metal.
All right. So...
Did he just get a flaming hand crossbow?
I want you to be
It's
very
raining.
specific. So looking at this picture of who you will learn to be Nazca Urgray, you see once again up to his forearm, kind of up towards the elbow, you see that he's just got this crossbow machination attached to it. Up at the top, you can tell that there's metal there that is the base. That's where it screws in and attaches or something like that. Are you heating that? Are you heating just the crossbow? Where are you heating exactly?
The highest I can get that wouldn't touch the arrow. So like probably right at that joint.
All right. So right at that joint that seems to be grafted with his skin. And we're going to have another moment where the guy can't drop what's burning him. All right. Does he make any save or anything? I don't think he does.
It's the con save to keep holding onto it.
Yeah.
But he can't
Which
drop it.
doesn't matter. So,
Yeah.
all right.
So it just
So
takes the
as you
damage.
do
6
so,
fire damage.
Well, wasn't it?
It's
You rolled the
15.
damage initially, immediately. 15. Take
Oh,
that
yeah,
15,
yeah.
dude.
But I didn't even see that on there. So
No, it's fine. You can do
That-
6.
Are you actually out of spell slots now? Or
no,
second
I just
Okay,
I
you
just
didn't
didn't
refresh
Didn't
it.
reset him. Yeah.
there's not a long rest button on this sheet, right?
No,
No.
you have to reset it manually.
I forgot. So yeah, so doing that, while of course trying to stay hidden, speaking really quietly. Thankfully, the rain's helping me so that I can hopefully remain hidden, and then just gonna kind of maintain my position.
Okay. All right. So as Viz is sitting over there, you, all of you that are kind of on the backside can clearly see Viz that's hiding behind a couple crates. You see him peeking over the edge, and as he does so, there's a small kind of warm reddish glow coming from his hand as this metal in his hand heats, and then you see the same glow, somewhat harder to see but still noticeable, coming from this dwarf's left arm as it starts heating up. He wails just in pain as his arm is just burned by this heating metal. Viz does have to poke his head up though and does make himself visible.
Thanks for the follow, Hawkeye. Much appreciated.
This guy is going to look out
I was back.
towards you all, and he sees Viz, sees the rest of them. He points forward, "Get them!" And he is going to take a step up, kind of out of the way, moving up towards where you see this water kind of lapping up against the ground. You're next to him, looking towards all of you, still holding his arm and groaning in pain from the metal being heated against his skin.
I wish there was...
Let's see, calm emotions.
It would wear off if they see someone taking damage.
Yeah, they all witness their friend being harmed, so calm emotions will drop. So they all, getting their senses, hearing this dwarf call out to them, they all start moving forward. With Viz unfortunately revealing himself, he becomes an easy target.
Shit.
20.
They all have the same initiative. Shit.
25.
Yeah.
How much cover do I get from those boxes that I'm hiding behind?
From the guy... Oh, your token's wrong. I need to zoom in, fix that. From the guy up to your east, you'll get half cover. The one next to you, no cover. Advanced... Wait, no, you're not drawing. Why is it doing that?
Fortunate.
There we go. Alright, that should be fixed now. Alright, so that one's going to move forward, that one's going to move forward. 5, 10, 15, 20... Okay. Alright, so 2 attacks are going towards... Well, 3 attacks are going towards Viz. You see the 2 bandits moving up to you with scimitars drawn. They swing down towards you, Viz. The first one next to you is going to roll. Oh shit, I'm not scrolled down. 6 is gonna miss. The second one is a 9, definitely not gonna hit because that one had advantage. You see the dwarf raising up his arm, still burning, but he fires off a crossbow bolt in your direction from his arm. This heavy crossbow, 16 to hit.
So he didn't roll with like disadvantage or anything because of the rain. He has good line of sight on
No.
me.
Wait,
Half
They can all
cover-
see you.
Half cover from him. Does that give me plus AC?
2. Plus 2.
So what did he roll to hit?
16.
I'm actually going to use my unsettling visage.
Does that
Gives him
work?
disadvantage as a reaction.
Can see. Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if that was a range thing. All
I
right.
thought that was a play on words. Like
Disadvantage,
biz-
so 8 on that roll.
Nice.
And I'm going to change my appearance into that of Abiznath. As I see him taking aim on me, I want to drop the human form and I want to assume the tiefling form, and I just want to stare daggers at him.
All right. So as this happens, you see the dwarf raising up this crossbow, gritting his teeth. As he's pointing at you, your eyes go wide, and then your form just melts and shifts away. This tan complexion taking over your human form as a Viznoth surfaces. He looks confused and fires off anyway. The bolt flies towards you, but hits the crate right in front of you, not hitting you instead. The other 2 bandits are taking shots, one at Kai, one at Chance, with their light
shit.
crossbows.
He should have had disadvantage anyway because of the heat metal.
Oh.
Yep,
He had
that's
super disadvantage.
So
Okay.
I'm not.
All right,
I won't retcon it or anything. I'll just stay where
Just-
it is. But I just.
Yeah.
Food for thought. All right. So first one at Chance is, or sorry, Risk is a 10. The one
I was
at
really
Kai
hoping
is
he's
a
aiming for
13.
Barovia, so
It tears through the ether in the middle
What
of
was
there.
the one at me?
10 at Risk, 13 at Kai. I think both of those missed.
Both missed.
Yeah. All right. So these crossbow bolts flying outwards. Okay. So that's their turn. Jot.
She's
Okay.
hiding.
I'm gonna step
Jot's
forward and just
hiding.
share space with Risk for a moment, just so I can see.
Thanks to Hydrated Bot.
Damn, shit. I was for a plan that I had. They all moved.
Do you want me
This
to
is
throw
like-
you like a cannonball?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
This is a wall here,
Where? Sorry?
right here.
Yes. That's the side of the ship where you do see several people moving around.
And this is a wall here.
Yes.
Okay. You tell me. With web, it's a 20-foot cube. But it needs to be anchored. Would anchoring here and here work, basically? Like, do they need to be opposite, or can it be like
For the spell web.
Jot go?
for the spell here? I can put it in chat real quick.
Oh, she must be
Here you go.
behind, or under one of our tokens.
Yeah, you could. It's 20 feet, so
I assume I could probably only get these back two ones
you can
here.
get these back two. Yeah, you could get those 2 back too, anchoring it between the side of the hull of the boat here and then the wall back there where they were trying to break through that doorway.
Okay, that's what I'll do then.
Okay. All right.
I need to make deck
So
saves.
deck saves from the
Or
dwarf.
they are restrained.
Let's see.
It's
He rolls a 4. The dwarf
Fail.
rolls a
It's a
9.
14. Okay, they both fail.
Okay.
So they're both restrained, which I
Okay.
believe gives advantage on attacks. We
All
probably
attacks
should
roll
mark
advantage.
the area though, because if you guys don't walk into it,
Right.
basically.
It'll be 20 feet. We'll just say it's like. Oh, that's too large, but yeah. These squares are 10 feet each, by the
Oh,
way.
are they? Okay, I didn't realize that. Then yeah, just Oh, will that work then? To anchor
Yeah,
it?
it'll work. It'll be
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Cool. Then okay,
Yep.
perfect. and then I'll just back up again. Let's see. Wait, hang on. Each one's 10.
Yeah, so move that
Oh,
in a little bit.
Wait, no,
These
that's
guys
not
have
right.
a ton of movement.
These are 5 feet. These are 5 feet. Sorry.
Okay.
No,
okay.
I was
these
gonna
are
say,
5 feet.
If
Why
that's
is
the
the
case, I don't have enough.
measurement
I don't
tool-
have enough movement to move back.
I'm like, be careful then, because they move 40 feet to get up to me. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
then-
your measurements set wrong in the settings for
No,
the tab.
the Roll20 changed their fucking thing again. I don't know if you've noticed this, Forge, but if you look at page settings now, they are different. They have
Yeah.
pixels and shit thrown into it.
Yep.
That changed this. It doubled the square. So it's 5 feet. Sorry.
Okay. So I'll back up again,
Okay.
and then I will have.
Should be fixed now.
So should that web be 2 squares bigger?
Yes.
Yep.
Actively working on
One
it?
Yeah,
square.
you're fine.
Okay, no, I was just that decides what I do in my next turn. That's the only reason I was asking.
And then one up. Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
So just don't go in that square.
Just
Alright.
don't go there.
So basically, so I step forward, and because this is the first time I've cast this one. Let's see, is it? Or if it has a. Yeah. So I reach into my bag and I pull out just a little bit of spider web, and I mutter a few words and sort of like trace the sigil, and this, and then just extend my hand, and popping out from the walls, these spider webs just like reach out and wrap all around the two guys, and there's. And then I'll step back, and I'll have Seamus, who I don't have a token for, but it's fine.
They don't.
Perfect. Give risk advantage on his first attack. Come up here.
All right.
I
Okay.
don't have sight, but whatever. He's somewhere over there, flying around, distracting one of the guys.
Oh no.
It's fine. Don't worry about the sight. I mean, unless you know,
I'll have to fix it later.
it's
'cause I
fine.
can't go
It doesn't
into
matter
settings.
really.
All right. So as Jot steps forward, she raises her hands up. The spider web flailing, kind of beat down by the rain and such. But you see her thrusting her hand out. As she does so, you see flip, flip, flip. These different traces of spider web reaching out, slashing up to the building back behind these two individuals, as well up against the side of the boat. You see them immediately struggling. They're kind of caught at an awkward angle as they're struggling against it, but they are obviously restrained as Seamus flies through the air, giving some movement. Kai and Chance.
Risk.
Make. I've had a few drinks. Shut up. Make perception checks, please.
Havoc's Discord went crazy for me a minute ago, and now he's very laggy.
Yeah. His fixed on my screen. But
Nani?
no, you're good
okay
now
now.
on my
You're
screen.
Okay.
That's a drink.
Okay.
That's a drink.
That is another drink. There's a lot of those tonight. I'm halfway through that drink now.
I have to like, I'm dropping myself down to sips because it's like, okay.
I'm starting to get a little warm in the face.
You both notice the water, even though with the rain padding down, padding down rather into the ocean waves that are surfacing up next to you. You see a disturbance, a few bubbles moving up, and then you see it splashes outwards as a large creature moves out and begins slithering up towards both of you.
That's not good.
What is that? What is that?
Oh, is that what I think that is? That is what-
It does not move towards you. Sorry, it's still in the water. It is going to raise up this what appears to be a large harpoon in its arm, and it is going to shoot at Kai.
Talia, tell your brother to fuck off.
24 to hit Kai.
Oh no.
Yep, that hits.
All right, go ahead and make a strength check for me, please.
Strength
No.
check.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay. You see as this creature moves out, slithering out, you see that
Bye.
it looks terrifying. If I can get a picture of it.
Is it a
I do
marrow?
have a picture of it. You see, it's a marrow. You see it holding this large harpoon, slithering out. You see it has all the features that you would expect of a large fish, but it is obviously humanoid in its nature. A few of you, especially Talia, recognizes this as a marrow. As it fires off this harpoon, it soars through the air, hitting Kai in the shoulder. You look down and you see this harpoon has penetrated into his shoulder and is taut as you see a line going back to the marrow. And as it does so, you see it immediately yank back. Kai is flung through the air and lands in the water next to the marrow.
16 isn't enough. Fuck.
You take 13 piercing damage, by the way.
Oh no.
Well.
Oh no.
And am I still currently grappled?
You are not grappled.
I just got yanked
harpoon,
and pulled, yep.
Yeah, the harpoon pulls out of you as you land in the water, but then you see it turning around and launches down at you with a bite.
Okay.
Oh, no.
20 to hit.
Oh
Jesus
no.
Christ, yes.
Oh, okay. That is another 10 piercing damage to you as it bites into you, sinking its teeth into your body as you were thrown into its home turf of the water. The rest of you all saw this clearly as Kai is ripped out, landing in the water next to us. You see a flash of fins and blue scales as it leeches down and bites onto Kai, trying to drag him underwater.
You motherfucker.
Risk.
I knew what I was going to do.
Did you, though?
I'm still giving. Okay, so actually, clarification real quick. I said I was giving him advantage. Do I have to give him advantage on a specific target or just anything?
You can give him the help action. So
Cool,
whenever
perfect.
he takes
He's
an
giving
attack,
you
you're
the help
giving him
action.
the help.
So whatever you want to do, you have advantage. Just FYI.
Right. All right. I'm going to. Jesus, I don't know who to help first. I'm moving down here, and I'm taking a short sword attack at this gentleman, and this is a pushing attack.
Okay.
But it has advantage.
You have advantage. Oh.
Oh. 9 is going to miss.
Performance anxiety.
And then I'm going to take a hand crossbow shot at the same guy. That will hit.
25
Also
will
a
hit.
push attack.
Okay.
It's a DC 14 strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. 2.
8.
All right, he's pushed 10 feet back. Does he take the other guy with him?
No, he just flies back and the other guy gets brushed across the shoulder as he flies
Aw.
backwards.
Didn't quite shove him into the webs.
Yeah, I thought because of...
Real close.
Oh, that's also a 1d8 on top of that.
Oh, yep.
That's
Okay.
12 piercing damage.
Yeah, you push him back. You see he does fall into the webs, but he does so as he's yelling in pain, blood spewing out of this hand crossbow wound as he falls into the webs, just
Okay, good.
dead.
And then I'm going to shout at the tentacle fuckface. No, because I'm standing right next to Viz. Fuck! That's the end of my turn.
All right, so short sword missing, unfortunately, as this bandit steps backwards. As you swing the second time, however, or as you fire off the hand crossbow, rather, for your second attack, able to hit this guy, flying backwards as you hit him into the webs. You see that this was a heavy shot right into his heart, killing him almost instantly. Talia.
Actually, can I have moved one when that guy left this base? Can I move one spot forward?
Sure, absolutely. All right, Talia.
I'm going to rage.
Okay. Your ancestral protectors, got it.
And then I'm gonna Xenon Warrior Princess leap with my great axe at Fishman.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think he should understand me since he's a creature of the water. But I can't understand him and just shout as I'm doing it, what the fuck, bro?
Dude, what the fuck?
What the fuck, bro?
Oh, Rick, no.
I was enjoying the fucking rain and you ruined my day and now I'm pissed off.
All
What is
right.
happening tonight with the rolls?
I am going to need a D100.
Wait, she has
Ooh.
advantage because its back is flanking rules.
Oh, eh?
It just bit Kai.
Yeah, you were
Okay,
correct.
fine.
Yeah, I need to look up that facing thing so we have that settled. Yeah, I was going to do that today. All right, yes, you have advantage on that because of flanking. It is engaged with Kai, so its back is towards you, so an 8 will still miss, but it will not be a critical failure.
So it didn't see me fail. All it heard me say was, what the fuck, bro? You know I was trying to attack him, right?
Mm-hmm. What are you saying that? Are you saying that in common? Are you saying that in
Man.
What is it?
Whatever.
Aquan?
You know a specific language that most sea creatures speak.
You should know Aquan.
Yes, you added that for me. Yeah, I was all like, I don't know, I haven't seen one on my list. Yes, I know.
All right. Okay. You do anything else?
No.
All
not.
right. You see Talia raging as she jumps through the air, looking like a warrior princess as she does so. Rain beads swimming off of her hair as she flies through the air. Unfortunately, slams right into the edge of the coast here, splashing some water up as she yells, "What the?" None of you understanding the language that flows off her tongue, something you've never heard before. But the marrow immediately turns around to Talia and says, "You'll die next."
Good.
Kai,
I'm glad it
you're
turned
in the water.
around. I'm glad it turned around because I'm going
Its
to...
focus is still on you. Its focus is still on you.
So then I don't get flanking?
No. As we do, the way the flanking works is that it focuses on one target and it will stay that way until it makes another
See,
attack.
that's fucked up. Okay. Whatever. I'm doing it anyway, so I don't give a fuck.
Do it. Do the thing.
I'm gonna reach forward and grab onto the fucking tentacle of this bitch.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to cast at level 2
Yeah.
and just grab onto the fucking tentacle of this thing and say,
fucking
"You
good
fucked
damage,
up,
dude."
my friend."
All right.
So juicy.
Anything else?
And then I'm gonna get out of the water.
Okay.
They're whiskers, not tentacles.
And no, the tail thing that it has. That's what he's
It has a
grabbing
long,
onto.
like, tail.
Oh, I thought you were
fish
talking
tail.
about his
No, like a fish
thing.
tail
I'm all like,
thing,
it's
no.
not
His face.
tentacles.
Get over here.
And then yeah, I'm gonna move out of the water and immediately, whoop, shield in front of me.
All
This
right.
guy.
As you move up, frustrated as you're floating in water, feeling yourself kind of bobbing here for a moment, you reach forward, grabbing onto the scaly surface of this creature's skin. As you do so, you see the edge of it turning black, and then the scarlet red as as blood bursts forward from its wound. As you inflict wounds onto it, it howls in this like gurgling sound, coming from its mouth. As you inflict a ton of damage to it, it's still standing, still alive, but that hurt like hell. It turns towards you, still keeping track of you for the time being, still focused on Kai where he's standing. As we go to Viz again. Visnoth, sorry.
The Zhentarium dudes, do they look surprised by the
Survivors.
mermaid devil?
Xanathar.
I'm
Xanathar?
super fucking
They are
scared.
still
I'm
just
about to
fighting.
not.
They haven't. They
not
don't see
survive
surprises
this.
right now.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to look over at Kai and be like, "Good hit, man. You got this. Don't let him get you again." I'm going to give you Bardic Inspiration.
Awesome.
And then I'm going to take the dodge action.
Okay. We'll give you that. Okay. Taking the dodge action to make it very hard to hit you.
Does the heat metal automatically?
No. My bonus action is Inspiration instead of bonus action reactivate heat metal. I'm still maintaining the spell. I just can't re-cause the damage, and he's webbed up right now, so
Yeah.
okay.
Spider drop.
All right.
Spider drop.
So, Visnoth giving inspiration as seagulls crow in the distance over this fight, giving it to Kai, who looks a little beat up all of a sudden after this creature attacked him. But then starting to sidestep back and forth, moving back and forth between cover behind these crates. Seems like he'll be somewhat harder to hit. Web. Let's see.
He has to use an action if he wants to get out of it.
Okay, so it's just like giant spiders.
It's a strength check action.
I'm gonna die, chat.
Of DC
I'm gonna die.
And it is going to, or he, sorry.
It's
Looking
at
up-
disadvantage.
Still struggling, is going to raise up his arm, struggling as he does so. It's still heated up and everything, but him ignoring the pain as he fires off another crossbow bolt.
At
This time at Yes, still at a Visnoth, actually. So he's firing. Yeah. 4. Another bolt right into the crate in front of you of Visnoth. God, yeah, he would have had disadvantage on that attack because of 2 instances of disadvantage. So, even though he has pack tactics, all right, that's his turn. He can't do anything else. Nope. All right, Bandit's turn. This one in front of Risk and Visnoth is going to attack Risk with his scimitar. 17 to hit.
That hits.
All right, that is 7 slashing damage to you.
All right.
This one, seeing Kai hop back out of the water, is going to pull out his own scimitar and putting away his light crossbow, swinging at Kai's back. 13 to hit.
Misses.
All right. This guy is restrained. That guy's dead. This one's struggling against it. What's the DC?
14. Strength check.
Breaks free.
Yeah.
That's difficult terrain, right?
Hang on, I'm pulling.
Think
oh,
it
I'm
is.
pulling it up. I don't think so. Yes, yeah, they are difficult terrain. Yes, and they are lightly obscuration as well.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Or wait, that's only 25, but still. He moves up into the melee here. Unable to do anything else is to use his action. Yeah, so that is his turn. Jot, back to you.
Lucky me.
Okay. Was this one dead?
One with an
Only
X
the
on it is
bottom.
dead.
That one's
one.
dead. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood which one. Okay.
And the one that was next, or where Risk is now.
Yeah, this one got pushed back into the... So he's like over here in the webbing dead.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll move forward just a little bit so I can see. Yeah, I'm going to magic missile the marrow.
Okay. And just for clarification, nobody besides Talia knows what this is exactly. in
Yeah,
character.
Yeah.
The tentacle fuck, but just easier to
Right.
just call it that.
Right,
I
right.
called it
Yeah,
a
sure.
mermaid devil.
Yeah. So,
Ah,
I
that
didn't know
was
what it
Terry
was until
Apps.
you said harpoon, and then the only reason I knew was just because the CR folks fought some marrow. and I was
Forge
like, I
killed
bet it's
one
a
of my
marrow.
characters using one of these. I like
2 of them.
marrows.
I always
Yeah.
put them in pairs.
They're they're scary fucks.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
One
magic
second.
missile.
One
How-
sec, let me add another one here. Hold on.
How hurt does it look?
It has a, like, its fin's probably about 5 feet long. You
Mm-hmm.
know, this tail going down to its fin. A good 3 foot section of it is just covered in blood from this inflict wounds. It looks pretty, you know, it's hurt. It's not almost dead.
Yeah.
Life sense isn't going off,
Okay.
but it's hurt.
I'll do it at level 2.
Okay.
14.
Life sense goes off.
Okay.
It's alive.
Good.
Damn. Shit.
Ow.
I'll. I move forward 5. I'm backing up because I don't. Yeah. 5, 10, 15. Yeah, I'll go back
I gotta
here.
survive, though.
And Seamus will give Risk advantage again.
Okay. All right, another round of helping Risk out. All right, so as Jot moves forward, seeing this melee going on between Kai and this large sea creature, sends off these magical energy, magical bolts of force energy streaming through the air, hitting into the side of this once again. Boom, 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 letting out this very gurgling sound from its mouth. Obviously looking super beat up, but still alive.
And coming for me. Here it comes. Do it. Do it, Abby. Come on.
Okay.
I really wanted to kill it.
All right.
Do it. Here it comes.
Its first attack is going to be its harpoon. It's going to look down at Kai, rushing out with its harpoon as it stabs at him. A natural 20.
Oh no.
Okay.
Kai's unconscious. Yep.
Probably.
You change the crit roll. All right. Kai, you take 20 points of damage.
I'm knocked out.
Okay, how much HP do you have left?
0.
Before that.
Big fat goose.
12.
So not
Okay.
dead. Not dead.
I
No,
was
not-
going
not
to see if I
dead.
could cut in words at the
Oh.
damage.
Oh, I gotcha.
I mean, you can.
I only have a
cutting-
D6, so I can only.
So it wouldn't... He's lore bard, so he can cutting words damage. But it wouldn't, even with a max roll, he wouldn't keep conscious. So
You-
If you have 12 and he
yeah.
did 20,
Yeah.
the most I could cut it down to is 14.
All right. So as he stabs through Kai, you see the end of this harpoon stabbing through Kai's stomach as he gurgles in pain. And as he slides off the end of this harpoon, he falls to the ground.
Did he
landing
have
prone.
disadvantage because of Talia's ancestral thing?
Oh yes, he did. He did.
She didn't hit with the attack.
Oh, that's right. It didn't actually
You
hit.
have to hit.
Have to hit
That's
for it
the
to take
first
effect.
hit.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. All right, so Kai is down. He is going to take a second attack, however, to try to bite Talia. An 18 to hit Talia.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, that'll be 9 piercing damage as he bites into your shoulder, which is reduced down to 4 because
Okay.
raging.
That tickled.
Yeah. Really? That's all you're going to do? All right, that is the Meryl's turn as he takes down Kai. Kai now laying on the ground, obviously unconscious. Risk.
So, Risk sees Kai go down, and the second he sees this happen, he's going to have this shimmering white light start emerging from around him, and a pair of white wings are going to burst from his back, and his eyes are going to start glowing golden. And I am going to.
Needed
That's my
Talia to
action.
hit it.
I'm going to use my
What the
action
fuck?
surge. I'm going to use my action surge to fly up to this guy. And
Why is Risk flying?
Talia's very intrigued in him now.
So as this is going on, just to describe this a little bit further, you see Risk seeing Kai go down. For Risk, time slows down for a moment. One heartbeat, ba-doomp. Another heartbeat, ba-doomp. And he feels something burning. This desire to help somebody he calls a friend. As he does so, he feels something stirring within him as this bloodline that he wasn't fully aware of himself begins to burn forth. You see, instead of normal wings growing out of his back that you would sometimes recognize on, very good aligned creatures, angels, things of that nature, these feathered white wings, you instead see these white, silver,
It wasn't
almost
my turn,
platinum
was it?
looking dragon wings
I
spraying
don't know why
from
I
his
rolled
back
for that.
as
I
he
thought it was
flies
my turn.
forward.
yup. And I'm going to use my action surge and take a short sword attack at this thing.
Advantage. Oh, advantage.
A
Oh,
natural
for a
20
natural
will
20.
hit. Go ahead and roll a D100, please. Roll one more D6 for me. And for 12 damage, go ahead and describe how you killed him.
And so Risk with
Couldn't
these
happen
wings
around before,
protruding
could
from his
it?
back and just
You're all
flying
first, all, thank
right over
you.
his friend's unconscious body and slashes across the face of this thing and just doesn't even look to see it fall. Just turns around with his hand crossbow raised and shoots at the one that is closest to Viz.
Yeah.
And this
All
is
right.
no longer advantage.
Jiro, first of all, thank you so much for the
Well,
host.
most of its actions are still
Appreciate it.
focused on me.
Welcome, everybody. We are in
It's gotta
combat
be on the
with
winning.
Amaro and some
Get advantage.
Xanathar Guild individuals
22 will
who,
hit for 7.
are, who are giving us a bit of trouble right now. my character has fallen. Not quite my time yet to do death saves, but I'm on the verge of death, so we'll figure out where it's going.
Would I take off? Yeah.
Just 5 feet.
off the
Okay.
ground.
All right. So you will have 2 attacks of opportunity provoked as you are entering and leaving threat ranges.
Yep.
So 2 scimitars. Yeah, neither one of them hit.
All right. So yep, that's a 14 strength save.
They're real good at these. 12.
All
An
right.
Additional 7. All to this guy, right?
Yep.
All right. And that was a pushing attack.
Yes.
Lands on top of the other body, just bouncing in the webs, just on top of it, not moving. I'll just move it there so you can see 2 dead. Okay. Anything else?
That is the end of my turn.
All right. You all seeing something very peculiar happening as Riss sprouts wings, spins flying around the battlefield, attacking, taking out the Marrow as well as one of the bandits, still hovering about 5 feet off the air, the wings still flapping, keeping him airborne at this moment. Talia, your turn.
I now know that he let me win on that mountain race. Spread those wings and beat me. How much movement is it going to take for me to get out of the water?
Are you in the water?
Yeah, I dove in to smash the guy.
Oh.
And then
you're
I'm so
barely in the
defeated
water.
now because I
Don't you? Do you
didn't
not
do
have
the
the
thing. I think it's
Yeah,
just
you're-
my normal movement.
You're barely in the water. You can get out without any hampering to movement.
Well, I'm gonna look very irritated that I didn't get to kill the little fish, and then run over to here and swing at this guy recklessly
It wouldn't matter.
because I'm so
Reckless.
angry
Take a
that
death.
the little fishy got taken away from me.
Okay. All right. Swing away.
Reckless.
Let's go ahead and
15 will hit for 14.
16.
16,
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
rage.
16. Yeah, you cut this guy's arm off. Just
yeah,
rink.
I did.
Screams
did.
in pain as he falls over, grabbing his arm, still screaming, blood going everywhere. He falls
And I'm gonna scream back
unconscious.
at it. Take it like a man!
Talia
As you're screaming at him, you see him
missing
succumbing
Talia
to his
missing the
wounds
shot hurt
and dying.
'cause it
Anything
Just
else?
like
left
that.
just enough health for it to turn and attack
Nope.
me.
All right.
I'm just
Again.
gonna like heavy breathe over.
And I
I'm just
knew
angry
as soon
and
as
happy I finally
Havoc-
landed a hit.
As soon as Havoc
All right.
mentioned,
Talia
I
takes
knew it
out
was coming to me.
one of the last few people standing. Only 2 enemies remaining. Kai, unfortunately, is still unconscious. Go ahead and roll a death save for me.
I already rolled it earlier.
Go ahead and roll it again, because that wasn't your turn.
Sure.
It wasn't your turn. Yep.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Still the same thing.
Still fail.
All right. You see Kai gurgling with the rain coming down,
fixed
landing
it.
on his face. Blood still going across his chest and stuff from this heavy wound from the harpoon. Seems to be struggling a bit. Visnoth.
Gonna take a few steps forward. I'm gonna bend down and place my hand on Kai. Be like, it's not your time yet to go yet. Get up. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds level 1. And I'm going to bonus action heat metal the dude in the web and say, you've got some fucking questions to answer.
All right. Go ahead and roll damage for heat metal.
What type of damage is that on heat metal?
It is fire damage, but it's not a fire, so it doesn't
Okay.
burn up web.
Okay, I was gonna say because if it was fire, it does extra things with web, but I wasn't sure how that worked.
Yeah, it's not going to be the way.
Well,
Back up.
if it does, it lights it on fire and he takes even more fire damage.
Yeah, he takes more fire damage.
Or
So
fire
10 points
damage.
fire damage. Kai heals for 12.
And I'm still prone.
Because you didn't die, your Bardic
Right.
Inspiration is still active.
Yep.
Hey.
Which you could have used on a death saving throw too if you needed it.
Oh, can you?
Oh yeah.
Any
Yeah, but
ability
it wouldn't
check
have
saving
helped
throw.
in that one because it was.
Well, on
only
your first one, that
30,
was a 6.
That's true. I could have used it for that. I could have
If
also.
it came down to something shitty.
If it was because I can also use that on AC too, right?
Nah,
No, not for
different
yours.
bards.
That's Valor Bard.
Oh, that's Valor Bard. That's right. That's right. It's Valor Bard.
Not Lore Bard.
Not Lore Bard.
All right. Anything else of Isnoth?
Nope.
All right. So, Avisnoth trudging back over. As he does so, he lays one hand down on Kai's chest as he soaks his hand turning red with the blood that he has on it now from the wound that he heals up with Cure Wounds. He raises another hand, pointing a finger towards this dwarf who's still looking, concentrating sweat, beating down amongst the rain across his face. As more metal as it glows red once again as Viz screams at him, healing Kai and burning this man. This man still standing, looking pretty hardy compared to the others, is going to immediately start thrashing and trying to break free. A natural 20 on his strength check will break free of that.
What is that modified?
It's over 14.
Because I can cutting words ability checks.
Okay, it was a 22.
22. All right, I won't do it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work.
Was that with disadvantage? Because he has disadvantage on all ability checks.
Is that
I
with...
believe it's.
That's with the heat metal.
Oh.
And he just
That ability checks?
reactivated it.
Mm-hmm. I don't even think he has to reactivate it.
Oh yeah, it says the effects happen when it does damage.
Okay.
Do you want me to recast it so you can see it?
No, that's fine. If it does the thing, then yeah, that's a
Well, I don't
10,
know.
not a
Yeah,
natural
attack
20.
rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn. And yeah, every time you react.
That's assuming he can't drop his arm with a con save.
Yeah, if it doesn't drop the object, it has an disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn. Since you did it, start of your next turn, going all the way through the turn order, he still has disadvantage, so a 10 is what he actually rolled. He fails, struggling. You see as he's struggling, he raises his arm and then immediately reaches down and clasps it again, clasping up towards his bicep where it's just burning his skin. You see the rain kind of burning off, this little bit of steam rising up from the intensity of...
You're going to burn your good hand if you keep grabbing that. Just
Grab
lay
his
there and answer our
bicep.
questions.
There's one bandit alive.
Really?
Not real smart. He's gonna
Swing at the guy that's
take a step
prone.
forward.
Swing at
Got
the guy that's
three
prone. targets.
2 targets. He's not gonna attack the guy that's on prone.
Should.
Uh,
I mean,
He should, but he's not that smart. We're still a low-level campaign, guys. I'm not going to break out the attacking down people yet.
Kill the down
so,
cleric!
Visnoth, as you're screaming towards the dwarf, he runs forward with the scimitar out, swinging at you as he rolls a 22 to hit,
Ooh.
scoring for 5 slashing damage as he slashes you across the chest.
All right, how much damage?
7.
Sorry,
Or 5.
thank you.
Sorry, 5. 5.
man, another nat 20.
All right.
I maintain heat
I'm
metal.
gonna be fucking
Yep,
wasted.
heat metal's going.
I know, right?
I need another drink. All right, Jot, you're back up.
I will.
So happy the Meryl's dead.
Yeah, I will firebolt. The dwarf hasn't really taken. He hasn't taken any damage, has he?
Oh, he's taking a good amount, yeah.
Oh, he has.
Yeah, he's
Heat
pretty
metal,
hurt.
the heat
Oh, he
metal
metaled
twice.
up. Right.
Yeah.
I shot him with an
That's
arrow
right,
to start
that's
everything.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, he's taking a good amount of damage.
No, I'll firebolt the remaining guard guy.
Okay.
I don't know. We might want to
20 will hit.
6.
6. All right. Still standing.
Just maintain the concentration on the
Web.
web, and
Okay.
and yeah, still advantage to risk first attack. Which
All right.
is-
You.
I think I used all my movements, so I'll stay right there.
Everybody make perception checks for me.
Including me? I'm gonna say no.
Including you. Yeah, including. Well, do yours at disadvantage, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, don't you get the
prone.
HP immediately?
It hasn't. Yeah, but I technically haven't gotten my first breath until the start of my turn.
Oh, gotcha.
You don't start to recover until then.
Just pumped him full of Daenerys' blessing, and he hasn't realized he needs to wake up.
Gave him a nice adrenaline shot to the heart. Ugh.
All right. As this is going on, these attacks going out, Jot sending a firebolt into this last bandit. You see the bandit panting as his chest is scarred by this small bit of fire that hits him in the chest. He turns around as he looks back at the dwarf. You see the dwarf looking around frantically. He turns around and looks towards the ship that's to your south. As he does so, he says, "All of you, what we agreed upon, now get them!" And as he does so, you start to see several men stepping over and jumping down. Let me
Into the web.
remove-
No.
Yeah, we'll just delete that. There we go. From the top of the ship, you see them moving down, jumping off, and heading down towards you. As they do so, you see them looking around, seeing the battle that's happening, the dead marrow floating and bobbing in the water, rain slicking down their faces. The one that jumps down and lands next to Risk looks around. As he looks towards the dwarf, he says, "You better have that money you owe us." As he looks forward towards Risk with another companion dropping down by his side.
Did you
As
say
he
that
looks,
to Risk or to the dwarf?
he looked towards the dwarf and said, "You better have that money you owe us." As he looks towards Risk, he looks at you as you kind of turn, still floating in the air. He kind of looks at you and says, "Fancy wings. Nothing personal. We were paid to do a job. Gotta take care of it." As he makes an attack towards you. A 6 to hit.
Where are these
Misses.
guys at? I don't even.
You're around the corner.
You're around the
Oh,
corner
okay, I just can't see
there.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is
Okay,
honestly
gotcha.
probably for the best.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm back here.
You see a lot of men moving across your, at least a dozen of them heading off the top of the ship and heading down towards all of you under the orders of this dwarf. Shit. 1 second, I gotta get everybody moved. Okay. That is their turns. Merrill's dead. Risk, this guy just took a swing at you. You batted your wings as you backed away from him. You see this man, once again, saying, "Nothing personal. It's just we were paid to do a job," as he holds out this sword towards you. You're muted?
How much did he pay you?
That the man looks up at you. "Paid us a silver apiece."
I'm gonna hand him 4 platinum pieces. And say, was this enough to get you to forget your deal with him and just fucking leave? Because he's about to die anyways.
As you turn around, still hovering in the air, holding out your hand, reaching into a pocket or into his pouch on your side, holding up, and as you do so, you tilt your hand over and you see him immediately reaching out as he sees the glint of something silver falling through the air and sees initially what he thought was silver and then looks at it closer and sees these platinum suns. Looks back at you as you ask that. "Hey boys, we got a new employer. Get the dwarf." You see all of them turning towards the dwarf trapped in the webbing. Took your action to do so, though.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
We need him alive.
Perfect. We need him alive. We definitely need him alive.
Can I turn back to the dwarf and be like, "A silver apiece? Come on, mate."
Anything else?
No, that's the fucking end of my turn.
All right. So as you see all these
Easiest round of
people,
combat I've ever had.
You just threw money at it to fix your problems.
God, is this how Kai feels all the time?
yes. So as you see all of these people, obviously looking like, displaced people that have are living here because they have to, not rich, but obviously mercenaries of a sort, moving down to attack you. There's a large group of them, and after hearing the offer that they were given, you see that their loyalties do not lie very deep, as Risk offers them 40 gold's worth for the 12 of them, obviously outpacing what this dwarf gave them. You see the dwarf immediately looking around, seeing all these men moving forward towards him, grinning as the one man standing next to Risk kind of tosses the money up in the air and back down. Talia, it is your turn.
Everyone's like token is just overlapping, so I'm like, where is everyone?
Can you rename mine back to Viz so it wouldn't cut off so much?
I don't know why it's like that, honestly.
Your tote's human. Totally, definitely human.
Is save changes. There we go.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So I'd like to take a swing at that guy.
All right, next to you. Okay. Recklessly or just regular?
Yeah,
Okay.
why not?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like as they're talking, like I don't want them to notice that like I'm still like actively, so it's gonna be like a
As Talia's looking over, kind of looking, still somewhat perplexed by the fact that Risk has dragon wings and is flying through the fucking air, looks over and she sees out of the corner of her eye this guy lunging forward once again with the scimitar, and as she does so, she turns, not even looking at him, just swipes her great axe through the air. You all see this head flying off and landing on the ground next to this guy as he topples over, landing on the ground next to her, and she's just like, the fuck? What's going on? Yeah, you kill him easily.
She's like, did you just take away 10 more kills?
Okay, anything else, Talia?
nope. I'm just gonna stay there because I don't want people to attack me if they think I'm gonna go after them. So I'm just gonna stand here.
All right. Kai, you've been healed. You're still laying on the ground. You look down, your belly is healed up. The wound is closed. Still some blood, though, but Viz is raising his hand off of you. What do you want to do?
Big. Like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere. Just close my eyes, place my hand on my chest, cure wounds on myself.
Okay. You standing up, or are you laying there?
I will afterwards. So,
Okay.
heal, that's a shitty heal.
Unfortunate.
And then, kind of slowly roll over, use the quarterstaff to kind of prop myself back up on my feet, and just kind of get my bearings. Not much else I can do. That's going to be it.
All right. Kai standing back up as he does so, healing his wounds further, looking around, surveying the battlefield. You notice the Marrow's dead, the one that almost killed you. All the bandits seem to be dead. This dwarf is still standing, still trapped in the webs. You see a bunch more unsavory types moving up, but their gaze, their ire is all turned towards this dwarf as you see Risk turning his hand over, dropping some platinum pieces into this man's hand. Not something easily explained to you, just waking back up. Viz, it's your turn.
I'm going to walk up to the edge of the web. I'm going to point at the guy. I'm going to activate the heat metal. I don't want to kill him, but I want to be searing his skin enough until he passes out. Be like, you ready to answer our fucking question?
Okay, roll for damage.
And then, is he still conscious?
Still alive, still
I'm
conscious.
going to take the dodge action, just standing over him.
Alright. As you do so, turning up, I don't know why he suddenly has the prone condition.
Because he is restrained under web, maybe he fell down.
Didn't fall down. He's stuck in place. As you do so, the metal heating up, he reaches over, gasping in pain, just breathing heavily. As you're looking at him, saying, better give up and everything, he looks up at you. You see just stout, almost fanatical determination in his eyes as he looks towards you. Says, I will kill all of you. As he struggles once again. He struggles again, trying to break out.
Disadvantage, of course.
At disadvantage and 8.
Just not cashing vicious mockery, but viciously mocking him nonetheless.
Viciously mocking.
Still struggling, still unable to break free. All the bandits that were against you were dead.
If you want the burning to stop, you're going to have to answer our questions.
As the rest of these guys start moving up to the edge of the ship and hopping down, about there, the rest of them are going to hop down. You see this growing army of mercenaries surrounding Risk as he's floating in the air. The one that you initially hand down, still pocketing the platinum in his hand, looks up. Well, boss, what do we do with this one then?
I don't know, guys. What do we do with this one?
Dismiss them.
Dismiss him, you say?
What?
Well,
I don't want them here while we question the dwarf.
Tell you what, you fine gentlemen have done
Get some info from them, like maybe what the job was going to be.
you've done a fantastic job. If you could just maybe tell us what you were up to, and why he paid you, and if you got any details about this folk, maybe his name, who he works for.
As you do so, the guy looks up at you, still kind of rolling the coins between his fingers, looks up and says, this one just wanted us to help him if he called for it. If any unsavory individuals showed up for him.
Thank God none of that happened.
Yeah, it's quite fortunate that nothing of that nature happened. Well, you're the boss now, so if you want us to take care of him, we can do so.
There's 5 of us and 1 of him. I think we can handle it. I think you gentlemen have earned a drink.
He looks around. Aye, I think we have. Turns around. Hey, boys, let's head up to the
Troll Skull Tavern.
Troll Skull Tavern. It's a little early for it to be open, isn't it?
Do we really want rabble in our heart?
Yeah, sorry, that's a Troll Skull and it's Mule Skull. Mule Skull. Mule Skull Tavern.
We've been there. It's kind of a boring dump, but fine. We'll take a drink. Thanks for your patronage, sir. Appreciate it. And
where can I find you if I ever need your services again? I pay well.
With that, the man looks up at you and kind of points to this dilapidated ship that's like broken and stuff that they all hopped off of. We live there, if you didn't notice.
Perfect.
All right, with that, they all start kind of moving back away from combat, taking a passive stance as they do so.
Fucking baller move, dude, by the way. Like,
when he said a silver a piece, I was like, oh, I can match that.
like, I'm okay.
I was going to do the quick math and double it, but fuck it, 4 platinum. Here you go.
Here!
400 times what you were previously being paid.
Yeah.
Here's 40 gold. Fuck yeah, boss. Hey, good to meet you. All right, Jot, what would you like to do? Dwarf is still standing. Doesn't seem to be backing down at all, though.
I'll move forward. I'll look at Risk. What the fuck is happening?
I've got no fucking idea.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sure, yeah. I'll just hold. Well, let's see. Holding how does holding another concentration spell work? Like holding it, like how, like does that drop concentration or no?
It drops.
No.
Oh, no. Like
It
I'm not
doesn't
actually
drop
casting it,
concentration.
just like
It doesn't drop until you actually cast a spell.
okay.
Oh, see, it's weird that Webb's concentration. I feel like you just kind of cast it,
Yes.
but it's there.
It's constant.
Yeah.
As
it
long
is.
as
It is.
as long as it's not another concentration spell,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you
As soon
can
as you
cast it.
cast it, it
Yeah.
will drop web.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
until you cast it, it's still maintained.
So I'm gonna just hold a hideous laughter if he breaks free.
All right. So if Dwarf breaks free, you will cast Chasha's Hideous Laughter centered on him.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so Jot, very confused about the turn of events that's happening around the corner from her, walks around, still seeing the dwarf being a threat, seeing has grim determination on his face, decides to prepare a spell. Risk. All your followers that you paid are backing off, and...
Yeah, out of character is like you just keep re-emphasizing the determination on his face. Is that you saying we're not going to get a chat out of this guy, or...?
He seems very anti-negotiations right now.
All right, I'm going to shoot him with the fucking hand crossbow. Actually, I'm gonna just move up and just stare him in the eyes. Like, I'm gonna turn to Viz and Kai. Like, I don't think he's gonna fucking talk to us and just shoot him in the fucking chest.
Okay.
You still have advantage
Okay.
because he's restrained.
21 will hit. Still standing.
That's an additional 4 radiant damage on top of that.
He has 4 HP left. Go ahead and describe this for me. As the radiant damage kills him, not the arrow.
Risk turns over and says, I just don't think he's going to... And the arrow hits him in the chest, and he seems to just kind of still be holding on to life. And as the arrow hits, just white silver energy kind of comes out of it, and he just takes a gasp and falls unconscious.
So as this happens, this radiant energy filling the air and then bursting forward, you see veins of energy coursing through his skin, through the tattoos, this platinum-looking coloration across his entire chest, stemming out from the crossbow bolt. As he does so, he gasps in pain, his eyes roll back, and he falls limp, still restrained by the web that still maintained concentration, bouncing up and down.
Is he dead?
Technically, no, but for all intents and purposes, he's dead. Just
What
to
the fuck,
stop,
Risk?
just to stop anything, he's not going to talk to you. Like you're not going to get anything out of him.
Sure, that's what DM says. Biz doesn't know that. We fucking needed to talk to him. I've been working on him for like a minute, just burning him. I can't believe you would just come and kill him.
Risk is going to land on the ground, and the wings are going to disappear. And I've dealt with these people my entire life. He wasn't going to talk.
Why do you have wings? What the fuck is happening?
Fantastic question.
Can you stop this spell, please?
Yeah.
We need to make sure the old lady's okay.
I'll drop concentration on web.
And then like 5 bodies hit the floor.
Yeah. The webs just sort of melt away.
Would like
Bodies
to
fall
rummage,
to the
please. And if possible, I want to get that arm off of him, and I want it.
I want his arm.
Okay, Rocket.
That was a leg. Wasn't it?
Yes, I need a leg.
See that?
Constantly ask
I
for a
need
leg.
that
It was
leg.
an ongoing joke with Rocket Raccoon.
I want to go look at the marrow.
I would actually like to kind of walk up behind Visnoth and kind of place my hand on his shoulder and say, "Are you responsible for bringing me back?"
It was. He's gonna drop Visnoth and revert to Viz.
Just for simplicity, all the other guys that were paid off, they all celebrate and they start heading off away from you as the battle concludes.
Bye, guys. Thanks for your help. Well, I mean, I did it, but really it was the blessing of Denier. He allowed a bit of his divinity to heal your wounds and bring you back to consciousness. But I channeled that. It was me, of course. Yeah.
I appreciate it, honestly.
Of course. We've got each other's backs. I mean, you're fighting these things next to us to help us, to help the city. Why wouldn't I try and help you, Kai? You're a good friend. I care for you. You're a good guy.
It's not that you wouldn't try to help me. It's just perhaps I should have chosen to protect myself over trying to eliminate the threat. I was thinking thinking at the short term and not the long term goal here.
I mean, to be fair, none of us noticed the mermaid devil with the harpoon that ripped you off the ground 20 feet into the ocean. So you don't need to, like, oh, I could have done better, because, I mean, we can't check every corner. We just gotta roll with the punches. Oh, Risk is a dragon angel. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, those people literally started worshiping him. They all crowded around him, and he was just handing out money, and yeah, I think he just started a new religion.
It's the power of the Platinum Dragon. literally the Platinum Dragon. Or Platinum Sons.
Kai is just like, he doesn't know what to think of this different form of Risk.
Risk doesn't either. But he is going to put his hand on Kai's shoulder and heal him for 4 points.
You can do healing now? What's happening?
Don't really know how I did it. It just felt right.
I will also grab for... No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not doing it. Sorry. I'll take that healing. Thank you. Okay.
Risk is going to sit down and feel like the back of his armor. Like, are there holes?
Yeah.
Fuck. I might have to have this custom made.
They're not real wings. They were magic wings.
Mm-mm.
There's no
How did
holes
you
in your armor.
fly?
I think there are holes in my armor. Do I feel holes in my armor?
1 second.
Do I fill a hole?
Do you want to see the
Yeah, right.
hole?
Incorporeal, so...
Yeah, incorporeal.
So no, okay.
Okay, yeah, no.
I don't have any answers for you.
Okay.
Yeah, that was probably weirder for me than it was for you.
I don't know. That was weird, man.
Yeah, that was weird.
Also, good play on the paying them off. Although I feel like that was a lot of money, but you know it worked well. So
I just didn't know where the tipping point was. I feel like I probably could have gotten away with half that.
Hey, you know,
yeah, the Havoc's not yet. Fuck!
I mean, you handled it great. I mean, other than, you know, the Zhentarium, you know, threatening to kill us if we don't pay him back, I mean, what else do we need money for, really? I mean, you saved those guys from having to be dead. You saved Talia from having to overexert herself. And, you know, it's just overall, I think you made a good choice. Risk? Minus when you killed that guy. I'm still upset about that. But
Yeah, I know people like him. I just don't think he was going to talk, and I don't enjoy killing people.
Do not ever judge a book by its cover. Read that shit all the way through before you ever make a decision like that. People change. Sometimes they grow wings and they're dragon angels. You can't just say, I know people like that. He's not going to talk to me. He's got a freaking crossbow on his arm, man. We don't know him. Maybe he had a really bad accident and he's in constant pain and agony from the fact that he doesn't have a left hand, and maybe I could have made that better and then he would have wanted to talk to us.
And the fact that you set it on fire?
Maybe we could still talk to him.
It's not worth the effort.
The clerics weren't very expensive.
He seemed
I think
pretty,
you're
like,
having a skewed
angry.
perception of money. I think you should maybe hand all your money over to Josh and let her make her financial decisions for the next few weeks.
You've been
As
hanging
you're
out
all
with Kai way
standing-
too much.
Back and forth talking and such, talking about what just transpired, looking at these dead bodies before you. You all hear a sound, a voice, and you hear a thunk, and you look over to your east where you see this door kind of opening. You see a bit of a tasseled white hair kind of frayed peeking through, and you see a eye looking through like half moon sun or spectacles looking
out
through.
Dumbledore.
She's like, you hear this voice. Are they gone?
Yes, we'll be with you in just a moment. Can we finish checking the bodies?
Who are you?
As
Don't
I'm
you
getting
worry
the-
about it.
As I'm getting the arm off. 1 second.
Go away!
We came to talk
Oh,
to
did you want the arm?
I don't care. Go away!
We
But
saved your life. We
but
helped
Brenda-
you.
My life was fine.
We want
They
to
were
try your
breaking
boat.
into your house.
They didn't get in.
We
They
want to
would
try
have.
we want to try your underwater boat.
We'd like to touch the boat.
Oh, you start hearing coulda. You see the door open wide open as you see this older woman standing out before you. Her hair kind of frazzled and such, but obviously kind of tied up into this large bun up on the top of her head. As she stands out and looks towards you, and as she does so, she stands in the doorway, presenting herself before you. These long robes
Look
of
at
purple and
that.
gold before her. As she looks towards you,
That is so
you want to go onto the apparatus? Yes.
I just like Risk has this sudden flash of Jot
You
in 300
absolutely
years.
So happy right now.
As you search the bodies as all this is going on, you find some stuff, I guess.
And after
Let's
each
see.
body is checked, Risk is picking it up and dropping it in the water.
You're littering my home.
You find 3 gold pieces on each of them, and on the bandits, and you find 19 gold pieces on the dwarf. So
How
for
many
a total
bandits were there?
of 12 plus 19, which is
31.
Yeah, that number. 31 gold pieces from all of these bodies.
6
As well as
apiece,
various
and
scimitars, crossbow bolts of various sizes. One, the dwarf had a heavy crossbow, so a bit heavier, thicker bolts for it. The bandits had light crossbows, as well as scimitars on everyone.
I'd like light or hand crossbows.
Light crossbows. The dwarf had a mace and a heavy crossbow.
Now, are crossbow bolts just universal?
For the most part, yeah. Well, just for simplicity's sake, yes.
Can I just grab a bunch of bolts?
Yeah, you're able to recover
I'm taking a light and a heavy crossbow, please.
17 crossbow bolts. And light and heavy, the heavy crossbow is attached to this guy's arm.
Yeah, I'm taking that.
Okay. Yeah, you
Remember, I said I wanted to
Yeah.
disconnect the arm.
So Viz moves up and he kind of pulls on the dwarf's arm, the dead body kind of dragging behind it, and looks for a moment and is able to look up the part that he was heating. Seems to be like attached to his arm and grafted to his skin. With a quick few movements and like twisting it to the side, you hear a click, and you're able to pull off this cylindrical kind of arm attached to a heavy crossbow.
Perfect. And then the first bandit that Risk killed with the longbow shot, I want to take his Xanathar outfit before Risk dumps him in the water.
Okay.
Before
Very
Risk pollutes my home.
very common kind of armor and such. You see no depicting designs or anything on it. It's just kind of black, grayish armor.
Okay, got it. Because like when we first saw Xanathar people in the Yawning Portal, Session 1, they had the symbol on their robes. These ones are bare, though, right?
These are bare, yes.
Okay. Never mind them. I don't want their dirty clothes.
Okay.
Talia, do you know
so
what
as you're-
this is?
I
What was
can't
it?
hear you.
Oh, sorry. Talia, do you know what this is?
She's pointing to the marrow.
Yeah.
It's a marrow. I was all like, this still contraption? No, I do not. The marrow. Yes, I do.
Did the marrow have anything on it?
No. Had a large harpoon that's foreign to you.
Are they
But in real
common?
life, I don't know what the marrow is.
So you know that marrow are a somewhat hated species to you of the Triton race. So I brain farted on what you were. You know that long ago a tribe of merfolk found an idol of a demogorgon at the bottom of the sea, and not knowing what it was, they brought the artifact to their king. Everyone who touched this idol was afflicted with madness, including their king, who decreed that a sacrificial ritual be performed to open a gateway to the abyss. The ocean turned red and with the blood of slaughtered merfolk, but the ritual worked, and the king led the survivors through the underwater gate to the Demogorgon's lair in the abyss. The merfolk remained there within the abyss for generations, hundreds of years, fighting for their lives as the abyss warped them completely, transforming them into these hulking, evil monstrosities. Thus, the first Marrow were born.
They're fish sticks.
Fish sticks or dicks?
Both. We chop them up and we don't like them.
Gotcha.
So as Talia's kind of going over this, and all of you are looking around, this strange old woman opening the door and standing before you, offering you to ride on her apparatus, as she called it. Not entirely sure what she's talking about, but you hope that she's talking about the submarine that you've been told about. We're going to go take another quick 2-minute break so everybody can fill their drinks and stuff real quick, and then we'll go ahead and conclude the last part of this session. So, BRB. Yay.
Okay. So, quick couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. All right, so ready to get back to this. Thank you, all of you, for being here. We are preparing to go speak to this lady, take this mechanical thing, and see what happens.
That's the last of my half bottle that was left in my meal. So
Yeah, I'm definitely the best for sure.
yep.
Just let's roll high. Just no more crits. I don't want to go and pour another drink, please.
All right, so
expensive.
as you're all looking around searching these bodies and such, this old woman has flung the door open at the specific... She initially told you to go away. She did not want you to be there. But at the mention of wanting to borrow her boats, she seemed to understand what you were talking about. She flung this door open, and as she does so, she looks towards you all. You see this frayed, frazzled hair and such on her white-haired head, looking towards you. She says, "Oh, are you adventurers ready to go into the apparatus of Qualish? Please, yes,
Yes, that's
Can
why we're
Apparatus
here.
of Polish?
Qualish?
Qualish, yes, Qualish."
Yes.
Have I-
We wish to dive into the harbor.
Oh, good. So you're ready to take the job I offered, then? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just remind us of the details of the job.
Oh, of course. I understand some of you can't read very well. Yes, the job that I posted said that you will search for an entire day along the harbor as well as anywhere else near here. Search any wrecks and such, and we will split any treasure you found. You're using my vessel, it's only fair.
Absolutely.
I get a share. Yes?
Yes.
Are you
of
going to
course.
be with us to pilot the apparatus?
Absolutely not.
Perfect. Can you show us how to pilot it?
Kinda.
Oof.
That's that needs
I
to
know
be
how to work it,
discussed.
thing, but it will be fine. It'll be fine, I promise.
Have I
This-
ever heard this term apparatus of Qualish?
You remember from
Okay.
your time within the House of Inspired Hands,
Uh-huh.
there was a thing on display, and all of you actually kind of remember this one particular item that was on display, this submersible vehicle that was up on a pedestal that was obviously a miniature scaled model of this almost crab-like looking machine that was able, through the fact that it had, steampunk-ish kind of machinations to it, along with a very thick iron steel hide,
It's called
to
the Scarlet
submerge to the depths.
Marnipoth.
Yes. This reminds you, the way she's describing this machine and such, and the way that you are able to eventually see as you enter a building and see this apparatus of Qualish, it resembles that almost exactly.
Did you get this from the House of Inspired Hands? Or did you make it?
With that, she looks at you a bit insulted. No, I do not need their, scholarous kinds of ways of doing things. No, I made this myself. Thank you very much.
That's impressive. Can you talk to me about how you made it?
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah. John's just like, can you talk to me about how you made it? Like, just so eager.
Make an intelligence check.
Uh-huh.
The rest of you start moving into. Go ahead and move into the house where you see Grinda standing, and you can see through the doorway the apparatus itself.
Oh yeah.
As the rest of you start moving in, you see this room, which I promise I have a description for. Where is that at? There it is.
It's a 22 and a 15.
Grab right.
Okay. As you're moving in, you see this enclosed-looking dock inside here. You see this large machination floating and bobbing in the water. In front of it, you see a large gate that's holding it here within there, kind of bouncing off the walls and such. You can tell that it easily could be let out if the gate was open out into the dock itself, or into the Gulf itself, I suppose, into the naval harbor. It's floating back and forth. Like I said, you can tell on the picture that I gave you for Grinda. It's almost crab-like. It has legs that are submerged in the water. This cylindrical form with appears to be a large tube coming out the back of it. These large, like almost eye-looking things sticking up atop of it, and then two huge mechanical pincers. Jod, as you're standing there talking to Grinda, the rest of them moving inside and taking a look at what's before them, she starts explaining in detail.
Yeah.
Very precise detail. The different machinations going on. You're about able to comprehend maybe half of it on there. You understand a few of the nuances she's talking about. The rest of it's just whoom, right over your head. You just nod and smile as she just feverishly, yes, I did this. I took the metal over there and I cast this spell on it, and then I went through this and I had to rely on this former predecessor on there and his studies here. But I was able to go through and work out the machinations, and that's how I got one of the legs to work. The other 5 of them, oh my goodness, they were such a efforts to get them to work correctly. I had to go through, and she just keeps going and going. And the rest of you are walking around, kind of noticing everything with this, and you finally make your back into the room, and you kind of politely interrupt the conversation. She turns around and says, yes, I forget myself. But yes, you were to...
She was talking! What are you doing?
I'll continue some other time, child. Yes, I'll continue some other time. But business first. Yes, you said you wanted to borrow the apparatus, yes?
Yeah.
No, we're here to do the job for you. Not so much we want to borrow it, but we're here to do the job that you posted about.
Right, yes. I have no interest in going undersea myself, but I would love to see if the apparatus is... I would love to see what treasures are on the bottom of the sea floor here.
Same, yeah, absolutely.
No, that's
We have those potions
not,
on us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you know that's
Just in
not
case.
very reassuring, right?
What are you talking about, young man?
No, I mean...
The apparatus is a construct of magnificent form.
And you're not certain that it works.
I'm 100% certain.
That?
Mostly.
Yeah.
That it will
Exactly.
submerge. Yes, it will
It
submerge
will.
just fine.
Will we make it back?
Probably.
50%?
Oh, she seems to think for a few moments. You see her fingers waving in the air. 45% at least. Or probably more. Probably closer to 60 in the right mind. The less intelligent mind.
Listen, have you seen a Nimblewright lately?
That she looks at you, Risk. What? Yes, I have. What business is it to you? You're not with them, are you?
No. We're friends of a friend of that Nimblewright. That Nimblewright was made by another one named Nim, and we're friends with him.
Uh-huh. Are you with them? She points out to the door where, like, the blood splatters are left over from the Xanathar Guild
It's
agents.
not obvious that we weren't.
The ones we fucking killed?
I don't know what your machinations are between yourselves. You could be friends with them and had a spat for all I care.
I'm confused about what you think the word friend means. However, no, we are definitely not with them.
Then why are you here? You're here for the job, right?
Correct? Yes.
Then why are you asking about the Nimblewright?
Just happened to work out that we're both here for the job, and our friend Nim was asking questions about his friend. Nim made that Nimblewright himself. He's concerned about it.
There's definitely some
impressive.
similarities I can see, like between like what you've made and what he was making. So it's fascinating.
Nim
But
is
that she-
worried that it made friends with the wrong kind of people. People like them, like you said, they're not good people. And Nim is worried that his Nimblewright might have made friends with them, the not so savory type.
As you're discussing this, going back and forth, she looks at you all and says, "Well, if you know about the Nimblewright, tell me about the stone then. I didn't get long to examine it, unfortunately. Tell me about it."
You got to see it?
Yes, of course. The Nimblewright brought it to me.
She's talking about the sending stone.
Sending stone? Gods, no. It was nothing so simple as a sending stone. No, that was an artifact of great power.
Oh,
We
So
haven't gotten
then,
a chance to examine it yet.
so
you haven't
no,
seen it.
no. Okay. I guess.
you
we
still
should-
have. Oh, she doesn't. Wait,
Wait. What guy?
We can't talk about. No. We'll
Out of
take your
character.
job.
Go ahead and out of character if y'all want to.
Out of
character.
out
she
of
had
character.
it.
She had it. She had it.
That's
The
nice.
note
I thought
mentioned it. The sending stone was just the fucking droid
Right.
sending stone to its boss. That's
Right,
all
so-
it is.
She was supposed to hold on to it until the Xanathar came for it, right?
Yeah.
Which is what
Why
I
the
thought they were
fuck
here
were
for.
these here? Why were they here? But she said I didn't have a chance to examine it long, so she doesn't have any.
She gave it to somebody else.
They're playing
That
hot
I
potato with it.
guarantee that's why they were here, was to get the stone from her.
She gave it to the wrong fucking people.
Or just didn't want to give it to them.
No, or
Hey, let's go out and find out.
no, or it's inside
not
this
find out?
fucking machine, and the job is to use this machine to find something, this treasure that this stone's supposed to help us find. She said that she wants part of that. We get to keep part of the treasure.
From like shipwrecks and stuff that's just in the harbor. Oh god, yeah, we need to.
We're taking the ship. We're taking the ship.
We're taking the ship.
She is standing right before you and wants to know about the stone. You can ask about the stone. Just
Right.
throwing that out there.
So I think we need to build off that. Like the fact that the Xanathar guys were probably here to take it.
Yeah. Your knowledge up to this point is that the Xanathar Guild was to come and pick up the stone from Grinda. Grinda says she doesn't have the stone and was obviously keeping the Xanathar Guild from entering into her domicile. Those are the
So-
facts that you know.
So in character. So Grenda, why didn't you get a chance to examine it for very long? Someone as smart as
Yeah.
yourself, they'd probably want to get the best feedback possible.
Well, of course, I was, well, well, if you know anything about the Xanathar Guild, you know how, well, unsavory they can be sometimes. I have worked with them in the past, you know, means to an end and all that. I needed some parts for the apparatus, you understand. But I don't have a working relationship with them, and when I was told via this note from this very interesting little creature, this Nimblewright, that I was supposed to hold on to it, I said, well, might as well, you know, no skin off my back, I'll probably get paid for it and could fund my research, but it was an interesting one. It spoke to me. It talked to me whenever I held it, and I wanted to investigate it further, but then suddenly, she points to the door, people started beating on my door and wanting it, and I didn't conclude my research. I wanted to know more. But it seems they've gone, and, well, you're here now, and you're willing to take the apparatus out, which is good, and that's a good day's work, I suppose. So I actually sent the stone away. My familiar, little Teedy, little rat, took it to our family's mausoleum in the City of the Dead. Took it to our family's mausoleum to hide it until further, notice, I suppose. But you see her kind of looking around all of you. I wouldn't hide any of that information if you are seeking the stone, of course. With you being here in my house and not a door between us. Yeah, that's where it is. It's with my familiar.
Maybe he can bring it back while we're grabbing some treasure from the ocean floor, and you can tell us what you learn about it.
Out of character, someone tell me why we don't just kill her now.
Because we'll never find her familiar.
Yeah.
We can't go robbing
She
her.
said family mausoleum. So
Yeah, no, we can find a familiar.
we know her last name. We can find a family mausoleum.
Because
As all of you are kind of looking,
I'm good alive.
you know,
I'm good alive.
these shady looks between each other, she says, "Oh, you'll need a key to get into my family mausoleum if you are seeking the stone, of course."
Would you
Just in case.
Why would
Would
say
you
that? Why
recall-
would you say that, Grenda?
would you recall the familiar to come back here with the stone?
Sure, absolutely. She looks around. Says, of course. She thinks for a moment.
Can I do a general insight check on her?
Sure.
And I also
as
want to.
she's. Go ahead.
I want to pop my head out. I want to see if any of our the guys I hired before, if any of them have come back to the ship.
They're
Oh, damn.
gone. They went to
Yeah.
go get drinks.
I want her protected. While we're...
Jot, as you're listening to Grinda, she's eccentric. Her mind is going this way, and that way, all at the same time. Like, she probably, you know, the fact that she built this thing, she's obviously a genius
Brilliant.
in some form. But it's under layer. She's an ogre. She's layers and layers, this onion of fucking genius inside all of these layers of fucking crazy, is what you're getting. As she's requested to call her familiar back, she says, "Yes, of course." And she looks up. Well, that's a problem.
Oh?
He's dead.
Mm.
Of course he is.
That's unfortunate. It's gonna take you like
Shot,
a
like,
few minutes to bring him back.
brings Seamus, and she's like,
Yeah, turns out I don't have anything, but if you were to take the apparatus and find some treasure, my cuts would probably pay for me resummoning my familiar. Yes, you should take the apparatus. Go search the harbor.
What do you need to resummon your familiar?
10
That's-
gold. Of incense.
I wouldn't know that. I started to answer that, but I wouldn't know that.
I'm gonna look to
Very
Jot.
definitely know that.
Do you happen to have this?
So it takes incense, and I don't have that.
I thought you bought
unfortunately.
some on a shopping trip. I thought you bought some backup.
I thought so
Did
too.
I?
No?
No. Am I thinking of a different
No,
game?
not that I remember doing.
Damn it.
Yeah, no.
can't-
I, you know what? I meant to do that at the start of this because I thought I might need to turn him into an octopus, and I forgot.
Let's go on the boat.
Not about that
Nope.
at all.
Yep, nope, I did not do that. So, you know, it's
So
funny
is-
because I remember at the start when you were like, I gotta do this, I was like, wasn't there something I was gonna do?
Yep.
And I was like, no, I don't think so.
So as
No,
Grinda's looking at you all, as you're all kind of looking amongst each other and such, she looks towards you all and says, Listen. I have a proposition. You seem like you want more than just the job. I'm not stupid, usually. If you go into the apparatus and you search for the rest of the day. There's not even a full day. That's what the job posting said, but you know what? Just the rest of the day. If you go search the ocean floor, bring back any treasure you find from the various shipwrecks and whatever may else be lying on the ocean floor, and bring back, and we'll split it, of course, which is fair. I will tell you where my family mausoleum is, and I will even give you a key to it. How's that sound?
Sounds like a deal to me.
Do we trust her?
And the path that you sent your familiar on.
Yes, and the path that I even sent TT on. Yes.
How do we
I'm
get
sold.
things
Talia, make an
from-
insight check.
How do we get things from outside the apparatus
Oh.
inside the apparatus?
With advantage.
Talia's been listening for a little while, so she has advantage.
Oh, there
You
we go.
see that Talia, you're very straightforward in your, mannerisms and such. She's eccentric, way off of left field. But at the same time, you see that she has a goal here. She keeps repeating over and over again. Somebody go into the apparatus, go search the ocean floor. Somebody go into the apparatus. That's all she wants. She wants somebody to get in the apparatus and go search the ocean floor. You trust her that she is willing to give you whatever the hell she says if you'll do this.
Should I
Viz,
just
what
go
was your
in it
question?
alone since I can't drown?
My
Well, I mean, we have the potions.
my concern is not the getting in the apparatus. My concern is returning with items and not dying.
Yeah, how do we get things from outside the apparatus to inside the apparatus? Like if we're digging around
It
there
has
with
large claws, and it has a basket underneath it. You can throw whatever you need underneath it.
Oh.
Do you have an instruction manual?
No.
Written in Draconic? No? Okay.
Not even. No, of course not.
Didn't think so.
I can
Could you go
show
over
you, maybe.
Quickly, like how to work it. I'll make some notes.
Maybe.
yeah, I mean, hop on in there and show us the basic controls so that we feel comfortable, and then we will take it and we will leave.
Does anybody have proficiency in land vehicles? Or water vehicles? Or any vehicle?
Seahorse.
Seahorse doesn't count.
Yeah, nope.
How close would you say land vehicles is to say like a pan flute?
Yeah. What about like tinker tools? I've got
It's about
tinker tools.
It's about this close.
Okay, cool. Yeah, not a
All
flute.
right.
Wait.
So as you're all kind of looking around at this, and she walks over and she opens up a huge side panel. She has to like turn a knob, junk, boom, pulls it open, and you see inside, and there's plenty of room for all 5 of you inside of it, albeit a bit cramped, but there's 7 seats inside of it. She points up. You see there's just a instrument panel up in the front with 2 huge knobs and then all these little buttons and switches. She looks in, she points to the front, console, and she's like, "Look, see? Simple." She searches your faces, and all of you are like, She's like, I'll show you. Who's the smartest among you? I don't want to spend all day doing this.
We all want to see. So let's
But
go
yeah,
in
show
there.
everybody.
Let's all go in there. I'm going to close the panel behind us, and let's see how it goes.
Make a persuasion check, Viz.
Oh, that's the first bad roll.
With that, she looks at you and says, No. One of you. I need the smartest one among you. I do not have all day to teach all of you. I want this done today, please.
Jot, Jot, if anyone's going to get this, it's going to be you.
Jot
I think
raises
you're, I
up
think
from
you're
the
really,
crowd.
really smart, and I think you can figure out anything, and I'm inspiring Jot for 10 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
I can do this. I can do this. Okay.
As y'all pick Jot, anything else go into Jot? Inspiration?
Sure, got inspiration.
Anything else going besides inspiration?
Yeah,
I'm gonna hand out my extra potion.
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of pat Jot on the back and say, "No, it's fine. You've got this," and cast guidance.
Jot feels magical energy coursing through her body as Grinda grabs her,
I've got this.
grabs
I'm
her
going to give
arm
her a
and
sip of
yanks
spirit
her,
tea.
yanks her over. All of you kind of shoved out as the clong. You see the door shutting behind Grinda and Jot. Jot now locked inside with Grinda. Grinda looks over and says, "All right, now that it's just the 2 of us, here's how this works." And she starts explaining everything.
Paper.
Make an intelligence check. Straight.
I was... No, okay. never mind.
Oh wait, sorry, that was a save.
Oh, it's
I'm sorry.
intelligence
button.
check, please.
Sorry. I clicked the wrong thing.
Where's my Sirenscape?
There you go.
You're inspired and you have
Uh-huh.
guidance.
Take it
6
all.
for
Yeah,
inspiration.
1d6.
And 1d4 for bless or guidance.
And guidance.
Hey!
21.
There we go.
So as Grinda goes through, she starts messing with the machinations. As she does so, this thing hums to life around you. You hear bubbling all around you as the hollow interior of it hums with energy. You hear bubbles outside of the water around you. All of you outside see this machine coming to life. Legs moving, coursing through the water and such. You're able to understand most of what she's telling you. At the end of like a 15-minute quick fucking through the fire and the flames seminar, you're able to kind of understand that, okay, all right, so if we get into this situation, I need to hit this button. If we get into this situation, I hit this switch. Worst case scenario, we run away. I can use these levers to drive it, maneuver it and such. These separate levers over to the side control the claw arms that come out that can take it in there. You learn how to move them and such as it all bubbles around you. All of you outside, you just see this machine moving in a very haphazard manner. It's like moving around, doing weird motions, and then does this and like reaches the claw up in the air and lands down. You hear screaming from the inside, "No, not like that, you idiot!" Echoing off the tin interior of it. But after about 15 or 20 minutes or so, you see the hatch opening back up. And as it does so, the machine hums back down to life. You see Jot moving out. You see her looking almost cross-eyed with a bit of confusion and the amount of information that's been pumped into her brain over the last few minutes. She looks over and... I can do this. I can drive this. I know Kung Fu. She understands how to drive the apparatus of Qualish. And as she gets this information, understanding how to maneuver this vehicle under the contract that has been presented by Grindel, that you can take it for the rest of the day, go to the bottom of the Gulf, essentially, through the harbor of Waterdeep, explore its treasures, and a portion of it will be yours, and the rest of it will be turned over to Grindel. You know that you have a job in front of you. You know that you have some information that will be waiting for you if you accomplish this job. And there may be another job that you can accomplish
We're
while
gonna run into
you're
that
down
fucking
there.
dragon while we're in there.
I'm so excited for the fucking dragon.
But that is where we're going to end the session for the evening.
Oh man, we have such a long break now. Oh,
No, we do have a game next week. It's 2 weeks.
We have a game next
we have a
week.
game next week.
Yes.
Yeah, 2
Okay,
weeks from
cool.
now we will have a break. But
I thought
next
it was.
week we
I
are
thought it
playing.
was next week that we were off. So I'm so glad we have a game next week.
Can we plan on a longer session next week? Because we've got like 3 jobs going on right now.
So many jobs.
Y'all piled on the jobs, and I'm like, shit, these are all in the dock ward.
I mean, all we have to do is talk to the dragon. That's easy. We can be getting treasure and hopefully run into the dragon, and we'll talk with them, and then we'll go up and
We'll trade
We'll ask-
numbers.
Oh wait, if there's a dragon in the harbor, the dragon has all the treasure. If we want any treasure, we
Yeah.
have to go to the dragon.
Uh-huh.
And we'll be like, hey, can we have some of that? And he'd be like, nah. And we'll be like, cool. Here, Grinda, here's half of nothing. Sorry.
And then there's
Tried.
also a killer on the loose.
Yep.
And this
Said
whole-
killer.
And there's also a stone. Actually,
A dead familiar somewhere.
Yeah, someone's killing rats.
Which still, nobody asked what it looked like.
Doesn't matter. It's dead.
What?
I
I
asked.
thought you told
No,
us.
I don't care what it looked like. I cared the path that it
The
went.
path.
That matters
Nobody asked
because
what the stone looked like.
Oh. I'm like, I don't care.
She's gonna be dead when we get back, so fuck.
I mean, I'm going to touch it and it's going to talk to me, apparently. I don't care what it looks like. I'll know if I have it. I'm gonna be like, hello? No? Hello? That or she's
Uh-huh.
crazy. And everything's
This was
there.
this was
This is
such
gonna
a
be
good
running,
session.
saying, "Let me touch you and talk to me."
Finally, somebody that
All
wants
right.
somebody to go away.
all right.
You got night stream.
Good
Night
night.
stream.
Bye, stream.
Nice stream.
Can't do the heart. Wait, can I? Huh? 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 Ha ha.
Eh.
Ha ha.